All right, then we're back live over on CH as we wait for some of the people to come in. There we go. Um, got Tyson back, and so Tyson's going to be able to handle the stage. All right, give me a moment here. There we go. Tyson invited as a speaker. All right, guys. Yeah. So once again, there we go. All right, so we got Tyson back. All right, so people are starting to come back. There we go. Tyson, I invited you up, but all right, so we're gonna get back into it. Let's try it again with Tyson. All right, there he is. All right, so all right, we're back. So Tyson can handle that stage over there. So once again, so yeah, guys, once again, I understand what Sweet was saying was speaking about. Sweet had some really good points, but Sweet, I think Sweet don't understand is before we get to the baby rights, the vessel, unfortunately, the mother, because he wasn't married, doesn't have a say in that. You know, if basically he can't force them to keep the kid on support through the mother because he can't speak for the mother.
And that wasn't my
That's all I'm
argument.
saying. Now, if that baby is
Well, and
born,
also there's no baby yet.
What do you mean?
So he might not even be the baby
Oh
daddy.
my God. Oh my, are
So
you
the
that
baby actually
serious?
has to be born, paternity has to be
yeah,
established.
he may not be the father of the child. I don't know where
Nah.
you guys get this baby daddy
It's
stuff from.
crazy right here. So all of a sudden
Well,
now,
I'm just
now you're
giving
going to make a man run away from
but
responsibility. He's saying,
he's not
that's
running away.
crazy. I know he's not, but you're saying, oh, now we can't prove that he's the father, so he has no rights.
No, 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 no,
Crazy.
no.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
He
That's what you
has
just
no
said.
rights until this fetus
That's
is
Georgia law.
born.
That's crazy. You make it sound like that's
Like
an order
you
from
don't have
God.
like nobody has rights to what's inside my body
You're
until
dead.
it is expelled.
You're dead. It's my sperm. My sperm is in your body. It's turning into a
Oh hell
baby.
no!
My sperm is in your body,
But
and it's
They say
turning
you
into a
got
baby.
in Georgia. You got to legitimize it,
It's not
I'm
and
your
not
it,
talking
and
sperm.
it's
about
It's
not
not.
Georgia.
it's not
I'm
No,
just
it's
talking
not your
about
Georgia.
the
sperm.
laws
It's not
and
your sperm.
God.
It's, you
it
gotta
There's
was
a
a
separate
there's
that.
a thing.
sperm.
If
We
you look at
don't know
that
what it
test,
is
if you
now.
One
get
mic,
that
guys.
test, and you
One mic, guys. Yeah, Sweet. It's not your sperm. Once you, it's sort of like
It's not
trash.
my
Once you put it out in the
sperm once I
curl,
put it in a
it's
woman.
not yours.
What are you saying, bro?
No, it's
he
not
said it's
yours.
not yours.
What are you saying? It's not my sperm when I put it in the woman. I'm not the
It's
daddy.
not.
I'm not the
It doesn't
father.
belong to you.
Hey, that's
Okay,
craziest
just
statement I've
one
ever heard,
second.
man.
It's no
That
longer
is like
it's no
trash.
longer sperm
Once I
like
put it
Charlie
inside
said.
the woman,
It's
it's no
now a
longer my
fetus.
sperm.
But it is your sperm if it was yours. But the problem is
Yeah.
nothing has been birthed yet, so
Oh my
you don't
God.
have anything.
That's
It's
crazy.
not it's not right. It's just a
It's
fact.
rational.
So
It's not a
just
fact
there you
and it's
go.
not right. It's not a fact and it's not right. That's your opinion about how you want to write the
No,
laws. It
I
doesn't
don't
mean
think it's right. I'm
that's crazy.
completely on what I feel what you're saying, but it is just the way that it is.
No, but that don't mean it's right. Your attorney
Nobody's
couldn't
It's
drink
saying
from the
it's
same
absolutely
right.
water
I'm
not.
just
fountain.
giving you the
Oh,
law.
that's just the way it is.
Sorry,
You
I'm
can
giving
change
you the
laws.
law.
People can change laws. The laws don't have
Well,
to do with
yes,
you.
and I think this
Again, one
case
mic,
is
guys.
going
One
to
mic, guys.
change the laws.
There's no
One mic.
precedent.
One
There's
mic,
no
guys.
precedent on this.
Listen to me. Listen to me, Sweet. Shauna, we're not talking over each other. We don't do that. We're not talking over one another. So if you guys want to have that discussion, you guys can have it, but we're not doing it over top of one another. People are listening. It's a horrible listening experience.
I'm just trying
And
to
I
put
can
out there that there's
accept
no
mute
there's no
that.
law that this is a no precedent zone. So I'm saying that the precedent to me is the father is still alive, or the grandmother for that matter. But somebody can say, hey, definitely not the damn hospital or emergency room or just whoever the governor of Georgia. That's their call. That just makes
Yeah.
zero sense to me. That's all I'm saying.
Listen to me, man.
Can I answer him, sir? Can I answer him,
One
Jonathan?
second, 1 second. Listen to me. Once you insert your sperm in her, okay, you have no control of that until and unless a child's born, and then you can speak for that child. If she decides to abort that baby, that whatever, if she's in a state where she can abort it, There's nothing you
Jonathan,
can
can we
do
come
about
back
it.
to the facts? She's dead.
Unless you're married to
I don't
Christ.
even
Unless
agree.
unless you're married to Christ.
Let's can we agree that that's debatable? Whether that's no longer you have any
Yes.
rights over it. It's in the womb of the woman, and you're going to the maternity every month, every whatever you're involved, and but it's not yours. You have
Yes.
no.
Let's debate it.
Yeah,
Well,
let's
no,
debate
I'm
it.
not trying to debate that.
What are
Okay.
you
I am because it makes
debating?
no
He just
sense to
told you
me.
what it
No,
was.
Diana, stop it.
This told me what it was from God,
One mic, guys.
Jonathan.
You guys are talking. Why the fuck we're talking? Let's not do that, guys. Let's like once again. No one's trying to hog the fucking mic. As a matter of fact, the ones that's talking are the ones hogging the mic. So let people get in. You guys talking about let's debate it. Why you want to debate something that's law?
Bro, that's crazy because laws are crazy sometimes. What are you saying? This is grooved in case law. The mother's dead, and it's Johnson versus Emory Hospital in 2010. Where's the precedence? This is law. What are you
So
saying, man?
there is no precedence because this birthing
Guys, I'm
situation,
not talking
the
about that.
viability and the
Once
person didn't
again,
go into
guys, once
effect.
again, like
Sorry.
you guys are jumping in on something. On what I'm talking about is law is once you deposit your sperm into that woman, okay, you don't have a say.
Can I speak
Bro,
to
she's
that,
dead.
Jonathan?
The mother's dead. Why are you leaving that out? That's not your average case, bro. I'm not talking about, okay, woman, now you need to do this because you're pregnant. I'm not talking like that, man. So don't talk to me like I'm talking like that.
No,
The
no.
woman's dead.
I'm talking. I'm talking to you like. Well, I'll explain. If you want to talk about that, since let's talk about that. Don't talk to me
Okay.
like you like
Okay,
because
let's
like
do
don't
that.
talk to
Let's
me like
do
you
that,
understand
bro.
because you're a
But
very
let's not
intelligent
change the
person.
facts.
That body is
Yeah.
that he's not married. He's not next of
Doesn't
kin.
matter,
He's
bro. He's
Exactly.
still the
it
father.
does matter.
He has to
It
pay
does
for all
matter.
the responsibilities when the baby's born, whether he's married or not, right? So why are you trying to change the argument all of a sudden? Oh, he's not married, so now he's not the father. What are you saying, man? It makes no sense.
Can I try, Jonathan?
No, one
Can
second.
I get a shot at that?
No. Why don't you Jotham? I know how to let people in. So once again. All right, guys. Next of kin is important. All right, so um, that father will not have rights until there is a child. Okay, until there is a child. Right now, I all there is a fetus inside of a woman, a vessel, and guess what? The next of kin, okay, has is able to speak. You can't go in and say, "Well, I understand this is your daughter, but this is the father of the kid that there used to be her
Let me know
boyfriend."
when I can
That,
respond. Let me know when I can respond.
yeah. So what I'm saying to you is that those parents, next of kin, have the say so until that child is born. Once that child is born, okay, then the father has some say so and some rights.
I've heard you say that. I've heard you say that 4 times. Can I respond to it now?
Go ahead, respond to it, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So what I'm saying to you is, all of that is your conjecture. All of that is your opinion. All of that is just you making it sound like it's from edict from the Pope or from God or from Jesus or whoever. Like that's just the way it scientifically just has to be. And that's I'm telling you, that's just your thinking on it, the situation. There's nothing that says that has to be that way. I mean, it was crazy in every other way you want to make the father responsible in every other way. And here's a person saying, hey, yeah, this is my girlfriend. Yeah, we're not married, but damn it, that's my child in there. And so, yeah, it's her life, it's her body. Nobody's arguing that, the live woman, she's dead. Nobody's arguing that, well, hey, woman, I said you have to go eat this right now, or you have to do anything while you're cooking this baby. It's in your womb. Yeah, it's my seed, but it's in your body. You're walking around with the seed that I planted inside of you, which is going to turn into a child.
She's not walking around with anything. She's laying down.
He's
She's gone.
dead, bro. But I'm talking about before that. I'm talking about from the time that seed it gets planted in that womb, from day one, month one. It doesn't matter. You're saying, oh, he has no rights until the baby is born. As far as
No,
now, this one situation where he definitely has rights because that's his seed. It's growing in this woman. It didn't just abracadabra. It wasn't an immaculate conception. That's his seed. And so now she's dead. And you're saying that you want to make an argument he's not next of kin. somehow? If the mother was alive and she died after giving birth, the father still has no right. But you're just saying just because the child is still in the womb, and we know that this man right now, if it comes out later on that oops, the child is cesarean section, the child is alive, or do some kind of DNA test and find out, oh, this ain't even the damn father. We address that at that point. But right now, dude is saying there's nobody contesting the fact that she worked at Emory. They show up together, and family knows him, been around. He's saying, look. So I'm saying see, and that's all a matter of whether we as a society decide to put that kind of importance on the male having these rights. And I'm here to suggest we've gotten so comfortable with, well, man, you don't have no right over this child. Let's call the grandmother and the grandparents or something. And I'm saying, what about those fathers that are there saying, hold up, I am here, married or not married, I'm taking responsibility. And that's not anybody else's seed. Nobody's contesting, hey, no, that's my seed that's in the woman. That's got to matter. In this extreme situation, doesn't happen every day, 35 cases of it, how far back that goes. In this case, you can't see that it makes sense to say, what does the father think? You know, and
Well,
let's
we
talk
already
about
know
it.
what the father thinks.
Yeah,
What does the father want to happen? And let's talk
The
about
Sharpen.
the.
father didn't want this to happen either. The father and the grandparents are on the same page from the
We
get
don't
go.
know that.
They didn't want
Yeah, we
what to
do
happen.
from the
No, we don't.
They
I
didn't
didn't
want
see
what to
what you
happen.
guys were debating, but I caught myself up to this case. I mean, the grandmother or the mother's even saying that they would not have necessarily terminated the pregnancy, but they would have liked to have had the choice, and that they felt like they didn't have the choice. And that's what sparked a lot of this. I'm still looking for the fake news that there was an advanced care directive, that there was the expression that the mother wanted to terminate the pregnancy. I'm bringing this case back up tomorrow if I have anything to do with that dateline, because I'm telling you guys, the entire night you debated as if this is something that the mother wanted, and we didn't even, you guys didn't even recognize that as much as Tira wants to say this hospital is not affiliated with Catholicism, it absolutely is in my book. And we didn't even bring in the God conversation. We brought in the freaking race conversation before the God conversation. I'm sorry. If you guys really want to see some of these laws change, that, in my opinion, has to be addressed, which is the God conversation. Because at the end of the day, you guys don't know if this woman believed in certain things that made it so that she herself is also sitting there watching her baby fight for life. Okay. So I don't want to hear it unless we're ready to talk about it. And maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Shauna and Tara, didn't you guys both report that one of the things that was reported that the mother gave her wishes about wanting to remain alive or not before she?
Yes, they did. But I
Okay.
can't find it, Rachel.
Yeah. Well, so they can come forward with every information they found since you
Yeah, well,
can't
they
find
also
it.
said it wasn't Catholic related, and it is.
I didn't say that. Don't you be putting because I didn't say Catholic, Jewish,
You
nothing.
part of they attorneys. Y'all are attorneys. You're in the same boat.
Shut up.
But here's the thing. You know, In Georgia, a verbal what's the word? You tell the doctor that,
Directive.
hey,
Verbal
directive,
directive.
It's got to be
meet
written. It's got to be
Monday.
written for it to be law.
It has to be written in Georgia. It has to be written,
Okay.
right? So let me go back to the other gentleman. My son was born 20 years ago in Boston, and the name, which in my mother-law say, if I leave my name off of the birth certificate, they could get more, what do you call it, benefits. I'm a person, I don't believe in benefits, right? So I spoke up and I took the birth certificate and tore the birth certificate up. And the midwife had looked at me straight in my eyes and let me know, yo, you will be locked up. You have zero rights in this room. Don't ever let that happen to you again. So, to answer his point, a man has zero rights when it comes to a child, unless it has what's called the paternity. Once you go through that paternity part of it, then your rights become visible and known,
Paternity
right?
or marriage.
Let me respond.
Yes,
Legitimization.
You're
yeah,
talking about how the
paternity
law
and marriage.
exists
That
today
part. So
in that
I
particular spot. But to
It
say that
doesn't
that
matter how
can't
much you
change,
can claim. It
to
doesn't
say
matter how
that,
much you can claim. It's
Hold on,
my
you sweet because you
seed.
can't hear.
It doesn't matter how much you can claim. It's your seed. That's the law in the U.S. That's how
that's
it
not, it'll
works.
never be the law to me, bro.
I
I
think
don't
it's
care
a
what you say.
110-year-old United States Supreme Court case,
My God
by the
will
way.
never, my God will never let that be real to me, bro. Ever. I will not go to that hospital.
Uh,
My
well,
wife should never go to that hospital if they're gonna put
Okay,
that
well,
in
the
that
U.S.
unit.
Constitution and federal case law disagrees with you. There is
I don't
no
care
federal
about
or
that, bro.
state law that gives a man control over his sperm once it's voluntarily deposited inside a woman through consensual sex. Bodily autonomy, constitutional privacy, and state paternity laws all say he has no legal claim unless and until a child is born.
I don't
Okay,
care
does
what
the
it
woman have
says.
it,
On
Joseph?
behalf of God, I'm
So
telling you, I
give me
don't
one
care
second,
what that
Clubhouse.
says.
One second, really quick. That was a great piece of information. Joseph, does it say that the woman gets to keep it and gets to do what she wants with it?
Yes, in so many words, yeah.
And that's the problem with America right there. That's one problem with America. What I'm telling you, bro, was it not law that black folks are three-fifths of a human being according to the Constitution at one point? So what are you telling me, man? Who cares? Well, according to the
No,
Constitution, that
so
some men made that law, bro. No
so
black man in their right mind should ever agree to no stupid stuff like
that's
that.
just
But you're arguing
that's
something that
just
can't.
Well,
Can't
I don't care
nobody.
a
what the law
pragmatic
says.
thing. You have to prove paternity
No, I don't.
because no matter what, people they aren't what they say they are until you have
Well,
some type of genetic, proof. So
that's not
paternity
true, man.
comes in, and then in the meantime, while there's no paternity, the next of kin to that fetus is probably the
What gives
parents
these white
because there's
people
no
the right
spouse
to
on the
talk
scene.
like this,
There's no
man?
paternity established.
Give a damn what
No
you say.
paternity established, no spouse on the scene. The next of kin is probably the parents, and by Georgia law, the parents are being
What
blocked.
black man in their right mind would agree that these white
And
folks make this
Doc-
law like
Dr.
that? That's
Russ,
crazy, bro.
hold,
I don't give a
hold
damn
on
what
one
the
second. Dr.
Constitution
Russ,
says.
doing a paternity test at 9 weeks is not allowed, right? Isn't that too harmful?
I don't know the state of amniocentesis these days and how risky it is, but usually earlier you try to get that type of determination. It can be risky, but the minute what I don't know is even in the paternity of an unborn fetus. That's another question, right? Is there a difference between having established paternity, of an unborn child versus what Jonathan said, which is he believes that the rights go to the father after birth.
But let me say this,
I
man,
would I would
because
think paternity carries next to kin in front of
the grant
the parents. But
absolutely.
at this point in time, it doesn't matter whether you have
Yes,
paternity
it does.
or you're the parents, you're the
Of
next
course.
of kin because Georgia is blocking next of kin from making the decision anyway.
Who gives a damn about
That's
Georgia, man?
100%
What
correct.
about God? What I'm telling you, man. You can't tell me the Native Americans had some damn paternity test, bro. They knew damn well who the father was. And they didn't have no paternity test to figure out whether they should care about this
But
way
you
their seed was
fighting the
planted.
inevitable right now,
What are
bro.
you
We're not
talking to
talking.
me
We're
like
not
this
talking
for,
about
man?
back
Talking
in
about
the
they
day.
know
We're
who
talking
the
about
daddy
There's
right
a
was.
now.
godly mandate that says that you don't have no paternity rights. That's some white man shit. Straight the
It
fuck
doesn't
up. That's
matter
some
whose
white
man's
man
it is.
bullshit, man.
You're arguing something that.
Say what?
Just what I said.
And,
That's some
That's
white
and
just
man
science,
Diana,
man. That has
bull
nothing to do
crap.
with
there
anything.
actually
That's
can
just
be verbal
science.
That's who
misconception.
created it. But it wasn't created by no black folks. That's for damn
There
sure.
can be what? Rachel, save us from this conversation.
I said there
Godly
actually
people
can
wouldn't
be
make no stupid
verbal
mess like that up.
advance directives.
In Georgia?
They can't be that
Not in
advanced.
Georgia.
They can't be that
Not in
advanced if they
Georgia,
verbal.
Rachel. Not in
Yeah,
Georgia.
Rochelle, they
They
can't.
actually, they
Sir,
actually, they
they,
actually
they
said that it can be verbal and written within the medical files for the patients.
correct.
Hear the last point. It has to be written in.
And no. I'm saying what I'm saying.
Right, but where did you guys get that she did that though?
Well, it was stated more than once earlier in the actual full discussion. So whoever said that can give you that information.
That's because
I
you
read.
ain't got it. You made the shit
Oh
up.
God, not
That's a
Barstool.
fact.
Jeez.
No,
Yeah, just like making up
I
that there's no paternity rights in the state of Georgia. Making up that nonsense too.
Well, guess
Bar.
what? Instead of having a baby first, you should have married her first.
How about you don't need no damn
You know, and
ceremony from
then
no
you would
no
skip. You would
judge
have
at no
skipped
city
this.
hall to say that I'm married? How about that? You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah,
hell
but you're
with that,
arguing
man.
that you're arguing stuff that can't nobody change.
Now, what do you
You're
mean
talking about
nobody changed? People do it all day, every day. They're not bound down to that.
you're
If
arguing
every
something
baby
that
is being
that
born in a
right
hospital,
now ain't gonna happen for this lady and her family right now.
okay, but that still don't make it right. There's gonna be another one, maybe. There might be
But that's
another
the
one.
point. We're behind. We're past that. It doesn't
Not
matter if you can
past
make it
it, but
right now.
there's no precedent, man. So I'm just saying there is no precedent on any of this to say, oh, you
No,
don't have any
no,
rights as
there
a
is a
father.
United States Supreme Court case, and Joseph just told you that.
What?
And it is the law of the land. Now, nobody has challenged it in,
Oh my
is it
God.
110 years, Joseph?
How long paternity test been around? What are you talking about? Nobody's challenging it.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
I don't know
talking about the
how many
case.
years.
I'm talking about the case that Joseph pulled up. I believe it's a 110-year-old case where it was determined that that unless you are married or paternity has been established, you don't have any rights until the baby is birthed and you've taken a paternity test.
Well,
So
let's
it
go
just
back
gave it the
100 years.
100
Let's go
plus
back
year
100
old
years.
law.
You think all
No,
black babies were being born in
that's the United
hospitals?
States Supreme Court. Nobody, Diana, I can't help it that nobody has taken, and I don't know
That's
your
Georgia's
name.
law. That's
I don't know.
Georgia's law.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know the
Exactly.
person's name on Clubhouse that is speaking. Otherwise, I would address you as your by your name. But
Call me
you
sweet.
know,
Call me Remus. It doesn't matter.
I'm sorry. What is it?
Remus. Call me Remus. Uh-huh.
Sure. So Remus,
Yep.
we need to find somebody to take this case up.
Well, hey, I'm not going to take it
Go
up.
clench your
I don't have
sperm
that
with
thing.
somebody and
But
lift it
Yeah, I'm not
out.
gonna do
no, my thing is this.
it.
My thing is this
Jesus.
to all black folks, which already don't believe in hospitals. A lot of them don't believe in Native folks have been having babies long time ago. Even black folks in America, they wasn't running no damn hospitals. They was in the back cabin somewhere having a child. And nobody said, "Well, are you the paternity test?" Everybody said, "Hey, that." Everybody said that John is the father of that child. So that's what I'm saying to you guys. Like, oh, what Georgia's now said, they just want to overly regulate every damn thing. Man,
Well, you
miss me with
using a
that.
system. If you
Miss me
using a
with
It's
that,
not
system,
bro.
you
just
gonna go by
Georgia,
their
man. I just
laws.
gave you a
Oh,
case
you
in
can miss me with that,
Massachusetts.
man. And
It's not.
all these vaccinations that you just have to go
Well,
over there
oh my
and
God.
do what they say. Miss me with that, bro. You can
You're
miss me with
fighting.
Okay,
You're
all of that.
fighting.
so you're taking it a little
No,
further.
I'm not
Right.
taking it a little far. We're talking about a child, a father of a child, and you guys are sitting saying you got no rights until the child is born.
Well, haven't you heard the same argument on Clubhouse since day one when women been saying my rights,
Not talking about that,
my
bro. We're talking
rights?
about a dead woman.
My body, my rights, Q.
Yeah,
We're
excuse. I
talking
know I
about a
said the right
dead
way the
woman,
second
Quinn.
time. My bad. But
We're
I'm
talking
just
about
Yeah,
a
telling him
dead
that because
but
he's
woman.
arguing the points. Like,
You're not
bruh,
hearing me,
this has
bro.
been an
we
argument
get
for,
what
or not an
Nobody
Remus.
argument,
argued
We
but a
that.
get your
debate.
point.
Nobody ever had no conversation in the clubhouse. If the woman dies, does the father have the rights over that child that's in the woman's womb?
But
Nobody had no
but
conversation like that in the
it
clubhouse, man.
it's a moot argument right now, Remus, because Emory took that right away from the father and
Okay.
the grandparents.
All right. So everybody studied it.
They made the decision that they are going to leave her alive,
Okay.
not alive. I'm sorry. They're going
She's
to
dead.
keep her as an incubator
Mhm.
Right.
with feeding tubes and machines and whatever they need to do to keep the fetus growing. Um, from when she died at 9 weeks and the fetus was 9 week old till it's going to be delivered sometime next month.
But why are you
So
putting that responsibility on the hospital?
because they're the ones who made the decision.
So the precedence
The
is being
hospital
set
did.
right
It's
now.
because of law, though.
Well, no, because the attorney general, if he had been the attorney general of Georgia, actually said that it doesn't apply in this situation when
Yes,
somebody is
it did.
brain dead, unless
No,
somebody is
yes, it
brain.
did.
He's
It
telling you what the
applies.
AG said,
No,
though.
the attorney general on Friday came out and said that had he been spoken to prior to this, then this would not, like at the 9 week mark or even at the 12 week mark, the baby was not viable. The
He would
fetus
have
was
did
not
what? The
viable,
attorney
and
general
there and
says the
therefore
attorney general would have
and
did what?
therefore the woman was dead, and therefore the baby was dead.
I
That's
thought
what.
the only thing the attorney general said was that if life support was to be removed, that doesn't constitute abortion. I thought that was the only thing that he really like confirmed.
I can read to you exactly what he said. Hold on a second, Diana, because I wrote it down. On Friday, the Georgia Attorney General's office said in a statement that the law did not require medical professionals to keep a pregnant patient on life support after brain death, and that removing it is not an action with the purpose to terminate a pregnancy under the state's definition of abortion.
Oh, boom. Here you go.
Not an action to
Stop asking the
terminate the
same questions
pregnancy.
over and over again.
Okay.
So
I just find
that
another
is
attorney general in
Diana. So
another
that's
state.
a direct quote. That's a direct quote.
Can you
Probably
say
tell
it
him to
Because
one
find
more
an
time,
attorney
Shauna?
general.
yeah,
Hell
one
yeah.
more time.
Hold on,
You
Hold
let her
gotta
on.
say it
find
one more
out before you
time.
go to that hospital, man.
Hold on, we're hearing from the attorney general.
Okay. So on Friday, the Georgia Attorney General's office said in a statement that the law did not require medical professionals to keep a pregnant patient on life support, quote, after brain death, end quote, and that and that removing it, quote, is not an action, end quote, with the purpose to terminate a pregnancy, the state's definition of abortion. I'm gonna
Just keep in mind that there are
I'm
going to
copying and
be,
pasting this to you.
thank you, there are going to be 3 different laws that this attorney general has to consider. That's the heartbeat law, the one
Person
about the
law.
advanced care directive, and yes, personhood, Jotham. So it's 3 different laws that
But
he has to be in accordance with to be right in his statement.
but
Just want to put it
his
out there.
you're correct, but we were dealing with at the time 9 weeks, and the heartbeat law and the personhood law doesn't take into account that the mother is brain dead, ergo
Yes, it
dead
does.
dead.
No, yes, it does. Personhood starts at 6 weeks in Georgia.
Yes,
But
but
what the people should focus on is that we have an attorney general, right? Who is saying,
Republican attorney general.
a Republican attorney
Right.
general, well, that's actually good, right? Who is
No.
saying that if they would have gone to him, that he would have done what? Because to me, if these laws are what's keeping I'm going to defend the hospital. If these laws are what's keeping the hospital from acting appropriately, then he's the attorney general and it's his job to make sure that we don't have these type of contradictions going on. Is that not correct?
100%
100%.
correct.
And he's
But
saying
and
that
I
that
texted it to you so that you can read it, yourself instead of hearing me read it to you. Um, if they had gone to him, to the attorney general, and said, "What do we do? We have this woman that is brain dead. We have a 9 week old fetus. How does this fit into the personhood slash heartbeat slash abortion rules that they put into place in Georgia?" And the attorney general would have said, "It doesn't apply because she's dead."
And therefore the baby's dead. That's it. End of discussion.
no, he just is saying that the hospital doesn't have obligation to
Try to keep it
keep
alive.
the mom alive and in order to continue the pregnancy. And probably more importantly, he's also saying to the hospital, you're not breaking the law because this is not considered an abortion if you turn off the mom with a 9 week fetus.
So does he have a problem when the father and the grandparents take the dead body and they take it home, take it to the mortuary, take it wherever, and do whatever they want to do from there?
What do you do whatever they want to do? What you mean? Bury her?
What I said.
I
So
mean,
if
what
they,
else are they gonna do with a dead body but bury her?
bro,
That's what
if
I'm
they want
asking.
to do a cesarean section or whatever they want to do, go to another hospital, go somewhere else. You can't
Yeah,
tell
and
a
what
person how
other
to
hospital do
take
you
care of
think
their
is going
life,
to
bro.
bring in another a dead body to?
Bro, that's you saying that the baby's still
I'm
alive.
asking you a
No,
The
no,
question.
no,
baby
no.
Why
would
you
have
gotta
died
come?
without the life support.
Yeah, you're abusing two corpses there. The
Right,
mom
that's what
and
I'm
How are you
saying. You
abusing?
think you gonna
They're
chop up a
already
You
dead.
dead
understand that
body?
if they had not put her on life support, right? And if they weren't feeding her
Baby's
and
dead.
doing all the things, the neurological and the pressors and all the words that Dr. Catherine used earlier and Dr. Russ used, if they weren't doing these things to keep her healthy,
Mhm.
there is no baby.
Okay,
Like
great.
the
So
baby
then
would have died when the mother was dying.
I got it. So let's go back to the attorney general. So the attorney general saying is, okay, what? Put the baby on the woman on life support, or what he's saying? Let
No,
the
the
woman die.
attorney. So under the Georgia law, there's the two prong. There's the heartbeat, you know, and then there's the personhood. And the attorney general said that this doesn't apply when the mother is brain dead.
Right.
And
So
this
she's
mother
dead.
was found
So therefore,
if the fetus is not viable. And
right.
then there's the arguments of when a fetus can be viable. Most professionals have said around 22 to 24 weeks, you know, but even then, as Dr. Russ said earlier, that's a premium, you never know. But we're talking about a 9-week old cluster
Right. So
of
the attorney
cells.
general is saying let the baby die. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, the
That's
attorney
not what he's
general is
saying.
saying that
Oh, Jesus.
Emory did the wrong. The attorney general is saying that Emory and that whoever made the wrong decision
What decision is that?
because she was brain dead.
He's not exactly
I,
saying
That's not
that.
what the
yeah.
attorney general
I
is
think he's
saying.
saying that they're not obligated, and
Correct.
that's where they probably, if he had told that to them and said, "Look, you're not obligated to do anything here, and you're not committing abortion, which is illegal if you turn her off," it still at that point should have gone to an ethics board, and had the family wanted to do everything to save the fetus, that's a whole different scenario.
But Dr.
Or
Russ,
you
if
know,
they
if they
turn it
wanted to let her
off,
go, and
the baby dies. If they turn it
yeah,
off, which is what
yeah.
the attorney general said, you're no obligation to have to keep this woman alive. It's not on you. She's brain dead. You
No,
can
that's
turn the
not
switch
what the
off.
attorney general
You
said. What the
definitely not taking
attorney
that back,
general
that
said
Isn't
body
that
and
what
take it to
Dr.
the
is
Russ
hospital.
just
if
said?
there was
Holy
no life
shit. Can y'all
support.
two take a 15-minute break?
Hold
Just
on.
you
Dr.
two.
Russ, isn't that what you said,
Bar,
Dr.
Not
Russ?
Dr. Russ. You two, please.
Bar, stop it.
No,
Wait till I
Bro,
give you
listen.
something to
good,
say.
You don't
I'm
bro.
hear my
talking over
voice in
That
two and a
you.
good,
half
bro,
months.
asking
So
her the
go
same
I
go
question
don't
play with
multiple
your
care.
toy.
times.
Not everything needs a story. Let other people talk.
Okay, so what would you like to add to the conversation, Barth?
Anything.
Good
Go
question,
ahead.
Shauna.
Go
You got
ahead.
the ground.
I'd love to hear your
So
opinion on this, Barth.
Please don't
based
ever
on
ask the same
Emory,
thing.
Oh my God. Man.
last year they had a malpractice, which is the biggest settlement they ever had in their history, which is 40 million in a settlement, and I think that's what they looked at and say, look, we just dropped 40 million on a malpractice, so we ain't going to screw this up. Let's follow the law.
And the law said that they do not have to keep her alive. Ain't that what we just said? The attorney general just said.
She was
The law
dead.
sa- the law says that after 6 weeks, that's a person right there,
Uh huh.
and we are going to follow the law and not pull the plug. If we
But
pull the
again,
plug,
this is something different because Remus, you keep saying that they about keeping her alive. There is no keeping her alive, right?
Exactly.
So
He,
that's the biggest thing here because that's what makes this case set precedence because some of the law was not even, I would say, expecting to be in this situation. So that's why it's important to get the terminology correct to better understand the legal frameworks
You can't have
that
it both
each
ways, though.
party. Give me 1 second, Remus.
Oh
I'll
no,
land
don't
really
interrupt
quickly.
her.
Thank you, Barth. And I do want to hear your perspective. We didn't have the God conversation today regarding this case, but we probably will on Saturday. So all I'm saying is the Attorney General said that the hospital is not obligated to keep the mother on life support
Can I jump in now?
because
No, not yet.
just because of the baby, because it won't be considered abortion if the hospital removes the life support. Now, what that would have done for the family and for the hospital would have then been able to go to the family and say, look, we got the okay to be able to remove her from life support and not be charged with potentially murder and 7 years of prison if we would have violated some law. Now, what would you have wanted to do? And that
Okay.
goes in alignment with what the mom said, the grandmother of the baby, when she said, and I quote something like this, I don't
Quote
know
something
if
like
we,
this.
wait,
you got
what?
that. I
Yeah,
don't
come on
know
now,
if
Diane.
I would have terminated the pregnancy. I just wanted to have the choice. Period. That's what we're dealing with. And now I
Okay,
think this was framed into all kinds of other stuff that it's not supposed to be, but we will take care of that on Saturday night.
but let me
I
just
think
say
that's
this,
why
then. You
Emery
said you
is
wanted to
taking a
hear. You said
stand
you were
in
willing
front
to
of the
hear
courts.
my thoughts. Nothing you said new about what I was thinking. But let me again. So if when they went to the parents, they were saying we're not going to be charged with murder or anything. So therefore, like somebody pointed out, which I already knew, if they therefore t- say, okay, the mother's going to die, or the mother, whatever, we're just gonna. She's already dead. So we're not going to keep her alive. So therefore, the baby dies.
No,
So
that's not what Diana said, Remus. You're
oh
so
my
set
God!
on
Wait, wait,
wanting
wait, wait,
to
wait, 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 wait,
prove
wait.
your point. What
How? I
Diana
don't know.
said is,
I don't care
had
what Diana
he
said. Hold on
stopped,
for a minute.
yeah,
This,
but
I don't.
what
Why are
they're
you stuck on
saying
what
is,
Diana
it
said?
should have been
But Remus,
if
you have to at least be correct in the information though. So
Wait,
let's
wait. So
hear
the
it.
baby doesn't die? If the mother
no,
is, if the
what
mother's dead, the
no
baby
Remus,
stays alive.
you,
You can't
no
have it both
Remus.
ways.
What we're saying is, and what the Attorney General says is that if Emory had requested a opinion from the Attorney General,
Yes.
okay, then the hospital would have turned this decision over to the parents and said, what do you want to do? We can
Yes.
take your daughter off life support or we can keep her on.
Okay. Okay. Great.
That was
Okay. Okay.
that was taken away from them.
That's what Diana said in Shauna's language.
Wait. It was taken away from them, and therefore, but the hospital went ahead and went against. Well, they just went ahead and said we're going to keep the baby alive. Let's just say it like that.
That's exactly what the hospital did.
The
And
Okay.
the hospital
the
did
hospital
not
didn't want
seek
to get charged, Shauna. Be
right.
fair, because y'all blaming this poor hospital. The hospital was faced with potentially being charged with murder
The
if they
doctor who would have
hmm
taken her off life
if they
support.
would have
Yes.
taken her off life support.
Even though the attorney general, you guys are saying, already made
The
it
attorney
clear
general
you're
only
not going to
came
be
out with a
charged with
statement.
murder.
Okay, but
But it doesn't
no,
matter though.
The
So the
attorney
bottom
general
line
was
is a
Friday. This was
hospital
months ago.
Friday,
decided to keep
On
the
February
child
19th, Emory
alive.
made a decision. On what was Friday? May 16th? May 17th?
Yeah.
The attorney general came out.
Yeah,
So
but you know what? That was their lawyer's fault, Shauna, because they filed a lawsuit
I
against the
understand.
hospital. The
Well,
lawyer should have gone to the attorney general. Respectfully, that's a shitty attorney. If you can hear us out there, you should have helped this family go to the attorney general's office, point blank, period, whoever it is that you are.
Wait, and that ain't okay.
agreed, and it was and they didn't even file the right kind of lawsuit. They filed a
Well,
civil suit.
that's
They
just the
didn't
lawyer's
try
You
and
see?
self-preservation.
file anything to stop all of this or to get clarification. And it's only because of whatever group that has stepped in now is went to the attorney general and said,
Trying
you need to clarify this because this is not something you expect when you pass a law on abortion and birth and heartbeat and personhood. That that somebody's going to show up brain dead before the fetus is viable. And so that is why they should have, Emory should have gone through the ethics. They should have gone through their lawyer. They should have gone to the attorney general. They should have gone and done everything that way and then turned it over to the parents or to the baby daddy and said, okay, what would you like us to do?
But at least the baby's still
Here are your
alive. So I
options.
give Emory
Here
a
are
lot of
your
credit.
costs,
I,
etc. And
I give
then
Emory a lot of credit. They
you,
kept the
Remus,
baby
would have
alive.
gotten, yeah, but then Remus, you would have gotten what you wanted. But
Exactly.
that's not what happened.
That's the Emory kept the baby alive. That's what the father wanted. That's what the mother wanted. That's what the grandmother wanted. They wanted to
That's
keep
it.
the baby alive. So
They
they
wanted
did
the
that.
No, they
choice.
said they wanted the choice.
They
They were
want the
never
I
given
choice.
a
get it. I
choice.
get it. I get it. Great. They didn't get a choice, but the baby's still alive. So if they want to be mad
Yeah,
about the
but
baby still being alive, that's on them.
in the interview she gave last week, she said it was absolutely horrific to have gone through this many months of visiting her dead child every day
Okay, no
Right.
problem.
and
It's going to
Cause
be a
knowing
rough
she
still
still
decision
living
either
with
warm
way.
her.
to the touch and
I can't be
everything.
mad at Emory for keeping the child alive personally. especially if
You was
I'm his
just
father.
saying fuck Emory a minute ago.
I wasn't saying fuck Emory a minute ago, bro. I was trying to get
You
the facts of what the attorney general is saying. I was always been saying the father's got the right to keep the baby alive. Cesarean section.
not if he
That's
ain't
what I've
married,
been
he don't.
saying the whole time. You didn't hear about
Okay, well,
cesarean section. I
I
guess
would
you didn't hear
love
me say that.
for you to find a woman that is willing to have a C-section at 9 weeks, and
Bro,
and
she's
and
Right.
you
dead.
show me
What are you
that
talking
baby is
about?
viable and
We're talking
couldn't
about a dead
survive.
woman. What woman is going to say, okay, she's dead? What are you talking about? She's
Then what
dead.
are you talking about? So
The
you
woman
want
is
me to
Yeah,
be
dead.
don't
able to
say you was
say
going in circles with
How
him
are
C-section
you
today.
at
forgetting
nine
about
weeks
the
Jesus.
fact?
old?
I don't need to find
9 weeks
a woman that
old,
says
they
it's
don't even
okay.
have developed
I
anything.
don't need to find a woman that says it's okay.
I'm
She's
trying.
dead. What are you missing
Stop
about
going in
that?
circles with him.
You know what I'm
Makes no
missing,
sense.
honestly, Remus. I've been hearing you, and you know how much this is Diana. You know how much I love hearing you. I've been hearing you for a while. I still can't understand like what your position is on this specific case. Like, do you
Let me
think the
say it
baby
slowly.
should
Let me
be?
say it slowly.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm
slowly.
thank God the baby's still alive. They decided to keep the baby alive. And I'm a father, so I'm saying if they want to have a cesarean section, if they want to, I can't run the hospital. If the hospital says, "Hey, we run out of time, out of money," then I'm like, "Hey, either the baby's gonna die." Choice A. If you say we're done, the AG says we can turn the switch off, and then the baby and the mother's already dead, but the baby died. Why not take a chance on this dead woman and having a cesarean section, and maybe the baby lives? That's my position.
At 9 weeks old.
Whatever point. At whatever point, if they want to
You're
let
not
it
even
go all
about
the
to
way to
have
9 months,
Okay.
nothing.
if they want to go to nine
Diana,
months, that would be
this is
better.
all you.
Not
If
yet.
they
I
want
don't
to
think
go to
he. I
nine
don't
months,
think
that's
Nothing,
he
better.
realized how
nothing
far
is
now
going to
weeks
live at nine
is.
weeks old.
It
No,
Right.
ain't
but
gonna
like
live either if they
Remus.
turn the
No,
switch off.
but Remus. No,
There's
let's
nothing
just
to lose.
we don't have to do what ifs. We have a real case. So right now, for example, so they if they did a C-section at 9 weeks, the baby
We're
would have
not. The
had
baby ain't
some
9 weeks no more.
massive
Why do you keep going back
challenges
to 9 weeks? They're not
because that's
nine
when
weeks
it
right now.
started. Let's stick to the case.
Stick
Now
to
we're at
right
21
now. Stick
weeks.
to May.
She's at 21 weeks. Right now she's at 21 weeks. So
Thank you.
You
are you
still want to
saying
have
that
a
you would want to do a
C-section.
C-section and see if the baby survives?
I'm saying if they say they're gonna turn the switch off and let the baby die, I would say before you do that, do a C-section and see if the baby can live. I'm not
But
Please,
telling them to
nobody's
hurry up and turn the
turning
switch
please
off.
don't respond to
C-sections
that.
Why not
Well,
respond to
no,
that, Quentin?
Q.
I
You
don't
know
need
what
your
I'm wondering
commentary,
is
Quentin.
I'm not
like,
talking to
aren't
you
you
either,
taking a
Quentin,
risk
motherfucker.
don't
with
talk
that
about my
baby?
conversation and don't tell
I'm
somebody
not.
not to
No, you
respond to my
saying you
conversation,
really been
bro.
repeating yourself for the
No,
past 30 minutes.
that's not
I'm
happening.
not
Okay,
repeating myself because nobody
nine
understood what
weeks.
I'm saying.
Remus, listen to the doctor.
9 weeks is a transition stage from an
You said
embryo
9 weeks?
to a fetus.
Did you
Nine
say nine
weeks,
weeks? I'm
and
not
it's
talking
like
about 9 weeks right now, bro.
Yes, you
We're
did.
not
you said.
talking.
You
God.
just
Listen
said
to me
do a
closely.
C-section in 9 weeks.
It's been
That's
21
insane.
weeks. Why are you going back to
He
9 weeks,
he
doctor?
said 21
Because
Because
you
weeks.
this
said
all
that
happened at
Okay.
9 weeks.
21.
He's
Okay,
been on life support for 3 months.
Right. So how old is the baby now? The baby's not 9 weeks
okay,
anymore.
we're gonna ask Dr. Russ to
Jesus
talk to us
Christ.
Damn.
about 21 weeks. Dr. Russ, 21 weeks, a C-section.
Still early. Like I said, 24 is pushing it. 9 weeks is not even. There's no viability whatsoever
9 weeks,
outside the mom.
bro. Nobody's talking about
24
9
weeks
weeks.
is pushing it,
Okay, but here's
but
what
it's
I'm saying.
possible.
So, Dr. Russ, the other alternative is turn the switch off. Emery's done. We don't have to do it anymore. We're done. And just let that happen? What are the odds if they turn the switch off? What are the odds if you want to talk about 21 weeks and 24 weeks and the odds are low? What are the odds and they turn the switch off and you don't do a C-section? What happens to the baby now?
But they're not doing that.
The
Like you're
baby
showing
dies.
me a
Answer the
scenario
question. The
that's
baby
not
dies.
happening.
So that's what I'm saying.
No.
So if we're not going to do that, just let it ride. Go to 9 months. Go to seven
But then
months.
what
Go to eight
happens
Well,
if
they're
the
months.
not
baby
Oh
planning to go
my
to
survives with a lot
nine
of
God.
months. Reem. They're
complications? What
not
What?
happens?
planning to. They're planning to do the C-section in a couple weeks. So
There you
it's going to
go.
be, I think it's, so it'll be, like you said, Dr. Russ, at like 25, 26 weeks.
Praise
Hey,
God.
hey, I seen in the news they said the body is starting to decompose as well because he did
Oh
die
wow.
in
No,
February. I'm asking. I'm just saying. This is what
no,
I'm not. I'm asking
I'm not
so
saying
y'all
no.
could
Like
maybe y'all
that
seen it
was
in the
more of an,
news
oh no,
better.
oh my God, Quentin. Sorry,
I'm
that was
saying.
That's
I'm
not.
right
saying
up there with
because
her
think
having
about
it
it.
written
The
at
body
hospital.
died. The lady died in February, and we still got her here just pumping her with electric shocks and fluids or whatever for the baby. But that doesn't. The body is just like still just here outside, with no
No,
life to
but
it.
Doctor,
They're taking care of the body.
yeah, Doctor Ross, like there's no like decompos. She's not decomp, is she?
I think I read that. I was asking y'all if there was
No, that's
anything
why
to it.
I'm asking Doctor
When you're
Russ.
talking about,
The cadaver.
first
Right?
of all, decompose is a kind of that's a post-mortem word. But like I said earlier, I don't know her status, but when people are brain dead, their physiology is altered just by definition. So they can go into heart failure, they can go into kidney failure or organ failure. I don't know anything about the case, but
Oh, okay.
if there's a report that maybe, her organs are failing or she's in heart failure or,
Well, she's dead, so
she's needing more and more pressors, blood pressure medications to keep her blood pressure up, or she may be, like a lot of people that are in comas for, a long, long time, their physiology, is not so bad. But the decomposition, that means that's post-mortem.
And
So
that was my whole point
I don't think they
about.
understand the concept of being brain dead and being in machines. I don't think a lot of people understand that concept.
Well, he just said he doesn't know the condition himself as a doctor. You don't. You're not there watching the body and all of that. So all of those variables play into the decision. Is what I'm saying. So if the body's getting worse and worse and worse, the host, because that
The
woman is
body
still the
doesn't get
host.
worse, brother. Stop saying that.
Say what?
The
Stop
body
saying
doesn't
what?
decompose. The body
No, I
wouldn't
didn't say
decompose.
that,
hold
bro.
on,
The doctor
hold
didn't say
on,
what you're saying. So
hold
I don't know
on,
why you're not talking
hold
to the
on.
doctor. The doctor said he doesn't know the condition.
No, wait,
So don't act
hold
like
on.
you got some crystal ball and you know every little thing that's going on with that body right now, bro.
Let me give you
Talking about the
a
heart, we
real
talking about
world
all kind of
example.
stuff.
Can I?
Go ahead.
Okay. So now stick with me again. Somebody's brain dead. Okay. A common pathway, no matter how healthy they were before they were brain dead. And I'll give you a real life scenario that I've been in plenty of times. I get a call, somebody's brain dead, 25-year-old, 30-year-old, self inflicted gunshot wound to the head, motor vehicle accident, whatever. Okay. And they call me because I'm a heart, surgeon, and they want to know if we're going to do a heart transplant. And it's the same if you're going to do a kidney transplant or a liver. The immediate question is what's the status of the donor? Because in many, many cases, very common, as soon as you go brain dead, the rest of your system starts shutting down. Okay. And I explained that in the beginning. It's not completely understood. But if you look at your brain as the CPU of your body, depending on the nature of the brain death, you have a limited amount of time for us to get those organs. So for me, it may be less than 36 hours before the heart is in full blown heart failure, and that heart is worthless to me. I can't transplant it. Other people are brain dead, and their organs in their body continue for a long time. And usually, in both cases, you need some type of support, blood pressure support. Somebody mentioned, feeding tubes, nutrition. I mean, if you're going to be for more than, a few days, yeah, you're going to need nutrition, and you're probably going to need blood pressure. You're going to need the ventilator. So your body needs support. Your body doesn't like that, and if you're brain dead, it likes it even less. Now, I don't know. Now, I'm going to go back and say what I said. I don't know her status. I don't know whether she's one of these, you know, brain dead patients that, just has great physiology and the heart stays well and the liver's good and the kidneys are good and can go on indefinitely. Or maybe, her organs are finally starting to fail. But it is very common, and we don't know the total mechanism. Once somebody's brain dead, no matter what the cause, their organs can just suddenly fail and their body can shut
Yeah,
down.
doctor.
And that's why it's always a race for us that are transplanters.
Doctor, based on what you just said,
With that being
therefore, since we don't have a whole lot of cases to study, every week that goes by, every day that goes by, potentially different organs or different things, that body is still the host of the baby. That baby is still feeding inside that body, as we know. So what I'm saying is probably why they said in another week or two or whatever, which is way before 40 weeks, way before full term, they're saying they want to go ahead and extract the body, is what I heard it said in this room. And so that's what I'm saying. So I get it. It's already a non-ideal situation, 9 weeks to 21 weeks to 24 weeks, whatever. But they must have had some rationale that says they're going to now do it. Whatever it was money or whether it was because the organs are shutting down, or they whatever reason the people that are on the scene are saying they're going to do this extraction in a couple of weeks. That's all I was saying is that so that I'm not arguing take the baby out at 9 weeks. The hell, I don't want to wait 9 months, woman. Let's take the baby out at 9 weeks. Nobody's arguing that stupid case. What I'm saying is that if the choice is turn off the switch and then the baby's definitely dead, whether it be 12, 15, 20, 25, 30 weeks, whatever point, I believe in the life part. And I'm saying give it a shot, let it be an experiment of if you're going to turn the switch off at 24 weeks, well then yeah, extract the baby and shoot for the best. If you can wait till 25 or 26, assuming the body is still in a good enough condition where it can do that, based on what you just said, that's all I'm saying. So there's a lot of variables, but I love the fact that they're deciding keep the baby alive. Okay, I wish they would have asked the mother, and the mother or the father, whoever would have said, okay, yeah, that's what we agree as well, whatever. But they made a decision and they didn't have to, according to the attorney general. I get it, but they decided, in the goodness in their heart, God, Jesus, whatever, the Pope, they decided to say, let's keep the baby alive. And now,
No, what they decided to do was to not face a murder charge. And instead of going to a lawyer and finding out whether they would even face a murder charge, because this is such an extenuating circumstance, they just decided to keep her on life support, racking up bills that the family's never going to be able to pay for. Who knows what the condition of this baby is? And yes, in a couple of weeks, there will be a C section performed because she can't give birth because she's dead. So they're going to take the baby out and they're going to then evaluate the baby. And who knows, the baby may die immediately upon being birthed or removed from the body, or the baby could die in a few months, or the baby could thrive, as Grant said earlier. None of this is known. This is all an unknown because this all happened at 9 weeks. And
I got a
and
Sha,
that
question.
was a
Sha,
cluster.
I got a question for
Sha,
everybody.
Sha, the mother,
You
the
have to
parents
speak
of
up,
that
King.
woman will never see a dollar from a bill from from that her child being dead. She will never see a bill from that because the bill is going towards a social security number which is already passed away. And I land there.
Well, no,
I
because of the
got a
person. So maybe you can tell us, and this, you're also Jonathan, right? So the
I'm
person,
Jaffa.
so there's the personhood law, which they're also invoking. So it's not just the heartbeat, but it's the personhood. And so they are considering them as two separate entities. So while
Correct.
the mother is an employee of this hospital and was a nurse there and has health insurance for herself, there is now this baby that doesn't have health insurance. So they will go the bills, according to the interview that the grandmother gave, is are being sent to them.
should be
Next.
sent to the
It's
father.
no
I go
the
back to should be
no the
sent to the
bill
damn
is
father.
sent to the house. The bill is sent to the registered address of the deceased mother. And they're
Ag-
looking at the bill that is being racked up. The bill always goes to the social security number on file, which is the deceased mother.
Well, how can you send a bill to a dead person?
That's
Because
They
his
do it all the
point.
time.
But that's
That's
his
not true.
point.
no,
That's
but
why she's
people
not going
and
to be
people
responsible.
no, but people do it all the time, and like so. At my building, when somebody dies and a bill shows up, we write deceased and we send it back.
Oh my
Correct.
God.
Right, but
Oh my God.
there's a little bit of a difference here because
There's
they
no
already know
difference.
she's deceased and Emery's taken this on, and according to the grandparents, they're doing a GoFundMe because they got to pay for the baby.
They won't, logically, they won't have to, and technically, they
They,
shouldn't either.
yeah, because the deceased person gets the bill. The
Correct.
unborn child will now get a social security number when that child comes out of
The
the
womb.
body.
No, that's the
And she
owner of
wasn't
that's the
married.
owner of the baby, which is defaults to the grandparents, like y'all was talking about
Why
with
it
dad.
doesn't default to the father?
No,
The bill
no.
default to the grandma if she wanna keep the baby alive.
Tell me why it doesn't default to the father.
It will
Tell
never
me,
Because
be
he's not
explain
defaulted to
that.
married.
somebody else. It will never be.
Explain to me.
Come
Explain to me
on.
why.
Yeah.
It goes to
I
the
mean,
social
what's
security
crazy
number.
is that the grandmother said what she said, and for anybody to be sitting on here saying that the grandmother is
Step away from the
incorrect is
mic.
complete dumb bullshit. The
What are you
grandmother
talking
said what she
about?
Step
said.
What
away
are you
from
She
the
talking
she
about?
said that she was going to be billed for this. So you're saying the grandmother is a liar?
She
That
No,
just
not
make
a
that
she
she don't
just she just
liar.
making up
that
GoFundMe's for no reason.
she don't know what she's talking about. She's
Not a
just
liar, but she
oh
could be mistaken. So, like,
That's
for
well,
example,
crazy.
she could think,
why is it that her understanding is not
woo
crisp and clear when this is
Rochelle.
her situation,
Rochelle.
when it's what
Rochelle.
she's going
Rochelle,
through? So
just
Rochelle.
why
stop
is
it,
it that
Hold
the
Rochelle.
on a second.
grandmother is
Rochelle.
wrong and you all are
get your
right?
friend.
Coming
Yeah,
in
let her
Girlfriend.
Why
finish.
is
Let her
that?
finish.
Girlfriend. In for four.
Rochelle, stop it.
Oh,
Out for
you
four.
stop it.
Every bill that you know, have you ever been to the doctor
Oh my
Oh,
and
god.
your
don't
bill
even
goes to
go there.
somebody else?
She already told us
don't
her
don't
story.
don't
So
start
Oh,
don't
that shit
this
now.
guy is so crazy,
But no,
man.
but
don't woke her up
Rachel,
as it is. Do not wake her up any further with that
People get
question.
bills for people all the time and they're
yeah,
not the
but they don't have
patients.
to pay
Hello.
these
And they're
bills
What are you talking about? And you pay them?
why did my father get my
Thank
mother's
you.
bills when she
What's
died?
because
wrong
they
with
were
this guy?
married.
Okay, so if the grandparents are the ones assuming
Hold up. Let's
responsibility for
reverse
the
one
child,
second. Let's reverse
no,
one
no, no,
second.
no, no,
No,
you
let's
reverse.
Let's
reverse.
I'm
No,
going
You
to
reverse.
let's
finish
go
what I'm
forward. No
saying, and I'm
reverse.
going to
you
finish what
just
I'm
made a
saying, and
statement.
I'm going to finish what I'm saying. If the grandmother is assuming
Mike is
responsibility
loud.
for the child, then why wouldn't the grandmother be billed? Can
Which
somebody
she's
explain
not
that?
Can I
doing.
answer that? Can I answer that? Can I answer
Go for
that?
it. Get her.
So would she
Great.
not be the legal guardian of the child?
Go ahead and answer that, dude.
Can I answer
Go ahead
that?
and answer.
Yes,
Let's
it's
reverse.
you
Diana,
versus
stop it.
Rachel right now in a throwdown. Go
Let's
for it.
reverse to what
Diana,
you
stop it.
said. Let's reverse to what you said. You said your one parent is getting a bill for a other parent. Is that a medical bill? Yes or no?
What the fuck are we talking about? We're talking about medical, right? So
I just asked a
absolutely.
question. Is it a medical bill?
What are we talking about? I literally said when my mother died, my father got her medical bills. I said that. And he was responsible for her
Okay,
medical
now,
bills.
But they were
Because
married.
they
She's
were
not
Okay,
married.
and
married.
again, if the parents are the legal guardians of the child, then they're responsible for the child's bills.
No,
Exactly.
Y'all
we
some
are
And
not.
dumbasses.
how is a parent illegal for the child? And the child is not out the belly yet. What are you talking about? Are
But
you
when,
just
but
dumb? Like
silly,
seriously?
man.
no,
He's
no,
silly,
but
bro.
Legal is next of kin. Y'all just had the whole
Thank
argument on
you.
how the baby daddy is not next of
What's
kin.
this right? What's wrong with this
Yeah,
guy?
they ain't
Is
listening.
there any directives for her
For who?
that her parents will be for the deceased woman? Is there any directives that her mom will step in? Is there any directives
Bro,
there? Is there any
bro,
well,
he
living power of
already
mother,
said
attorney?
the
Yes
no.
or
parents,
no?
the
Is there
parents
any
have been
living
going
power of
every
attorney?
day. The
Yeah, what's
parents
wrong
have
with this
said
dude?
this.
So is he not listening? Has he not
He's
been
just
listening to
slow.
anything that's been
He's just
said?
mentally slow. He listening.
These grandparents are involved with this.
He's just
Like
slow.
my point is, she said what the
Any
grandmother
grandparent will step
said.
up and be involved.
She said what the grandmother said, and you were literally sitting up here saying that what the grandmother said is incorrect. So what? The grandmother is
100%.
lying?
Crazy,
Is the
man.
grandmother lying?
$100.
Dude's crazy.
So you're saying she's lying?
How about we call a truce and say maybe the grandmother
No,
is
there's
No,
no
missing
truth.
maybe.
for
Nope. She's a,
the,
nope.
This is
There's
Let's
no
decant.
truth.
assume
We don't.
the
Nope.
grandmother's lying.
Nope. Nope. The grandmother knows what she knows. It's her situation, and she said what she said. Who the
right.
hell
And
is
I said what
anybody in
I
Well,
this
but
said.
room to
100%.
say that
Rochelle,
what she said is incorrect?
so
100%.
Rochelle,
No,
we
what
don't.
you're saying is correct, dumbass.
Okay, now Rochelle,
No, you're
I
the
know.
dumbass.
Stop it. Now, no calling each other dumbasses. So Rochelle, we have a GoFundMe page, right? But we don't have any receipts. So we need to see a receipt,
No,
right?
you
And
don't.
like, well, legally, I'd want to see a
Who
receipt.
cares
So if this
about?
is the
But
grandmother
you
is
don't. How many people have GoFundMe's and show their receipts?
no, I'm saying, well, I mean, this GoFundMe is going to be to take care of a child.
But how
That,
many people have
no,
GoFundMe's and
I'm
show their
saying
receipts?
if she's claiming that she's responsible for the bill and the hospital or Georgia law is claiming otherwise, then that is something where you got to show receipts.
So is that what?
I'm
So okay. So the otherwise is something new you've added. Is that what? Is that what they're
Is
doing?
there anybody? Is there
I
any
don't know.
report?
What do you mean you don't
Exactly.
know?
Why?
You're
Because
offering as an
exactly. Why
alternative.
are you
No.
all?
I was
You
trying
just
to
said that
say
she
is
said what she said. You never countered and said, but the hospital is saying this.
no.
But now all of
I'm
a sudden, because you want to see receipts, then you add that part.
no.
That's crazy.
No,
That's
Rochelle.
crazy.
I'm trying to sort of bridge. You know how you once tried to
No,
bridge a gap for
don't
me.
bridge nothing.
Okay, then I'll
I'm
just have
literal.
a and you
I'm
and
literal. The grandmother said what she said, and that's what I'm sticking with
See, that's
because
why
and the
she
club
loves her debates.
it's
Just
her
strong arms
situation.
and
you.
the
okay.
clubhouse
It's her
man.
situation.
The clubhouse man said the grandmother's crazy, and we supposed to listen to the clubhouse man. Make that make
No,
sense.
we're not listening to the
And it's
clubhouse
not
man.
even his situation.
No, but we we
We're
we
not listening
discrediting
to
the
the clubhouse
grandmother.
man. We're
We
listening
discrediting
to
the grandmother, and he's saying that he got the actual facts over there in clubhouse man. That make sense.
That's chatter. It's not clubhouse.
Okay, Chatter man.
and we're talking
Chatter
about
man is right. Grandmama don't know what she's talking about.
no. We're talking about what the ground. So we have somebody like you, Remus, but over here, who is saying what he thinks is happening, and then we've got Rochelle and the rest of us who have watched what the mother has said on the video.
Right. Did the mother,
So
we're talking about, I call it the grandmother because the mother's there, but the grandmother, the mother of the deceased, is saying that she's got a bill that she's got to take care of the hospital bill.
yes,
That's what she's saying.
yes,
And
that's what
so,
she just said.
so that's totally different than my man in Chatter. Okay. So who should
So
I
your
listen
guy
to
in
more?
chatter, which is Jotham,
That's me.
am I
Okay.
saying
Correct.
that right? Jotham, right?
You're right.
Oh,
Jotham.
yay. Okay, well, I don't have my reading glasses on, so there's little thingies up there. But okay, so Jotham is saying that
She's
there's a
not in.
different that that the grandparents aren't liable, but
Okay.
him and Rochelle started going at it, so I tried to come up with a different scenario.
But is the grandmother involved? Directly
Yes,
involved? Okay, so
yes.
why would we listen to somebody in chatter versus the grandmother that's involved? Why would we doubt her just because we want to doubt her?
Remus, why have we been listening to you for the last 2 hours?
I'm not the grandmother.
Exactly.
I'm not the grandmother. I'm talking
Remus,
about as
you
a
went on
father.
a whole tangent about
No.
your
I say
sperm.
I'm stand on it. I don't give a damn if I'm the father. Hey, I'm involved. I don't know why you talking to the grandmother. Damn it, I'm the father. So yeah, hey, what the hell is going on here? That's some
Because
BS. But that's neither here nor there. When we're talking about the grandmother saying she got a bill, you think she's just lying? If we just that's what we saying?
Remus. Medical
What?
billing goes to the social security number of the patient.
I'm not trying to hear that
Now let me say
theoretical
it again so you can
conversation, bro.
understand.
I'm not
Medical
trying to hear
billing
that
goes to
theoretical
the social
conversation.
security number of the
Bro,
patient.
you don't know what Emory,
I.e.,
you
her
don't
mama house.
you don't know what Emory did. You don't know why Emory might have told her we go send the bill to you. We don't know why Emory might have did that. So what are you saying? How can you say Emory could not have possibly told the grandmother the bill is coming to you?
Kumbaya. Diana, start
When
singing.
she entered the
Yeah.
hospital,
No, no more
she entered with her
kumbayas, please.
boyfriend. Correct?
No, but
Boy,
who are you
that
talking
boy
about? The
shadow
dead,
box.
the woman that's dead?
When she entered the hospital, with her boyfriend.
We
Correct?
just got through talking about the
Correct.
grandmother, bro. So now you're
The
talking about each
following
other.
day, she was brain dead. Correct?
Correct.
Go
So
where you're
where
going,
does the
man.
grandmother take over liability of a dead person?
Ask Emory, bro. That's what that
Without a
all she knows.
signature. Come
Bro,
on
it's not.
now.
It's a bill. Is there not a bill accumulating? You think it's going to evaporate?
This,
The bill's just going to
but
evaporate?
bro, this is where I live. I work with Emory also. I have a lot of
So
friends
wait,
in
tell me,
Emory,
okay, have you ever seen a bill
doctors and
Well, if
evaporate?
everything,
you
and
do,
I have a
can
Have
lot
you
of
you
ever
do
friends
seen
me
in
a
a
billing.
bill
well? I need
evaporate?
you to
Billing
do
is
me a
goes to
favor,
the social
Jotham.
security number of the
No,
Have you
person,
ever
Jotham. I
seen a
need
patient.
you to do me
bill
a favor.
evaporate?
You need
Who's
to
going to
go there
swallow the
tomorrow
cost?
or
What's
the
really
next day and
happening? We
find
have
out what's
somebody at
really
work
going
here and they
on
won't
and
shut
Who's
up.
going
report
to
a
pay for
lie
it?
the way
Who's going
Barb
to pay for it?
does.
Okay,
Jotham.
I'll make an effort. I'll make a conscious effort to go up
Uh-huh.
to Emory tomorrow,
Yes.
and I'll report.
and find out, and they're gonna, and they think you think they're
Feel
gonna
like
tell
they
you
gonna
where
let
they're
you in
gonna
the
send the
office.
bill. You don't think
Wouldn't
they're
that
gonna
be
ask you
awesome the way
who the
Bart
hell are
Beatty
you?
is live reporting? We're
You
going
don't
to
think
have
they're gonna
Jotham
ask you
live
who the hell
reporting
are
from
you
Emory.
asking us about this other woman? We're gonna tell you all her personal business. You don't think that's a violation of the hospital
HIPAA
laws?
Act.
Who the hell are you?
Who
Why
the
would they
hell are
tell
you?
you all of that, bro?
We're not.
Like,
Wait, no,
we
no.
just going to ask questions, bro. Come on, man.
Ask
About the
what
bill.
questions? You
We're gonna
don't. You
ask
Who
you
the
don't
hell
got
are
exactly
no
where you're
you?
gonna
HIPAA.
get the
He ain't
bill.
gonna give you
That's
no
what we're
HIPAA law
talking about.
facts. Like, what are you
I
If
think we
doing?
need a
HIPAA don't
commercial
play that
break.
shit.
But that's only if he goes to the medical billing office. He says he knows people. He could go to the room
But it's
and see
bullshit.
grandma
I
and
know.
Hey,
ask her.
Emory
John
lives
Doe can
down the
go to
street from
any
me. You
hospital and
not
say, I
going in
want
there
to see
just
the medical
asking
bill
questions.
for
And you is
XYZ
not
person.
no. You is
That's how
not
that
no
works.
journalist or have no news background to be sitting here asking questions, interviewing about nobody.
Now,
Please stop
You can
Q,
it.
go to the medical
Q,
billing and ask
you're
about any
ruining
person
my
about who's gonna
parade.
pay the
Okay,
bill.
you're raining
The
on
lady
my.
at the desk gonna be
You're
like, "Who the
raining
hell are
on
you?"
Rosie.
Oh, my
Yeah.
You know
bad.
how
My
we
bad. I
had
didn't
to
Hey,
mean to
I
set
was
listen
that
in
up.
to
chatter and I
TC
gotta
become a
prove a
Republican
point.
and report during the whole fucking election? Well,
Shit.
what? And he was on camera because of the chatter capabilities. Jotham can do the same thing. He
Get
can
the
take
medical
his little
billing. You don't
his
think that's a
phone.
violation of
He can go over
ethics?
there and report live. And there's enough of us on here that will vouch for him when he walks up to
We're
these
gonna find
people.
out. I'll be the
All
first person
right,
to
just let
say,
me know. My
damn,
bad.
girl,
I'm
you got
finna
some real
rain. Let me
power.
be quiet.
You
I
can
know I
find
rain
out
on
who's
your
gonna pay the
parade.
bill. You can get the medical records in a hospital for anybody you walk in with and tell me who pays the
Nobody's
bills?
saying that. We're
That's what
saying
he just said.
He,
that's
he's
not
just
what
What
we're
we
dumb.
talking
saying.
about?
Come on,
Totally
bro.
said
I didn't
Grandmothers,
go
say
to the
that.
hospital and talk
that's
to
That's what he
Emory.
bogus. That's
said.
He didn't
bogus.
tell him to go to the fucking billing and break HIPAA laws. I don't know what I don't have a Georgia attorney on speed dial.
Dude said
Q,
I'm
do
gonna
you?
find out where the bill is going. You
No,
serious?
not to
But
help no
You gonna find
goofballs
out if
on
the
here.
grandmother's lying or not. I want to see you do
yeah,
that
well,
tomorrow,
Maybe
you
bro.
here
go
in
talk
Atlanta,
to the
you need
What
somebody in
time are
grandmother.
you
It's
Georgia.
gonna come
different.
back on Chatter and talk about this? I want to see this conversation tomorrow. When they gonna let you go find out, oh, the grandmother is right. She got the bill now.
You
You
got to
gonna tell
record
us
it
who
live.
has the
They gonna be
bill?
like, "Who the hell are you?"
Oh, I'm Mr. Chatter. I got some people in Chatter. I promise some. I'm gonna let them know where the bill is gonna go. So I need that information, Mr. Emery, billing department,
No,
over
I
this
didn't tell
highly
him to go to the
publicized
billing
case.
Clubhouse,
department.
Clubhouse.
Man, you
Let me
got
ask
some
you a
real
question,
power,
Clubhouse.
bro.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, Remus,
What would be
why
the
isn't
first
your ass
question?
over here? Why are we entertaining Clubhouse? Let's just shut Clubhouse down.
No,
Jonathan's
no,
gone
no,
to
no.
bed.
Don't
Because
do Clubhouse
he
like
hasn't
that.
shut down
Yo,
Clubhouse. He still got an
he's
account.
got
He still got
dedicated
an account
audience
over here.
members over
If
on
he shuts down the
Clubhouse
account
too.
over at Clubhouse, maybe I might do that. But it's not broken right now, so I'm still using it.
Clubhouse. Let
And
me
I'm
Yes,
ask
using
you a
sir.
it
question.
Yes,
too.
Are you
sir.
saying your
Chatter.
name is
Go ahead,
Rich or
Chatter.
something like that?
Go ahead, Chatter.
What do you say your name is again?
You don't give us
Remus.
the go ahead. We get y'all to
His
go
name's
ahead.
What's your name? What's
Remus,
your name?
Remus, meet
Remus.
Jotham.
Remus.
Jotham, meet
Jotham.
What
Remus.
would
Jotham. Like Gotham.
what would
Like
be the
Gotham
first
City, but
We
question you
are
Jotham.
a
ask when
Got
you
hot
you.
go
mess
to
right now.
Go ahead,
what would be
Jotham.
the first question you ask when you go into Emory?
I
What would
don't
be the
know,
first
bro. You
question you want to
educating
know?
us, man. You're going to get to the billing
I'm
department
asking you a
and find
question.
out where the
What would
bills are
be
going to
the
be sent.
first question you would want to know when
Bro,
I pull up at Emory? What would
no,
be the
you
first
said you're
question?
going. I didn't tell you to go, bro. You said you're gonna go and get to find out
I
whether the
told him to
grandmother's getting
go
the
as a
bill or not.
joke. And
That's
we're
what you
now playing
promised.
along with that joke because you took it seriously.
Say what?
Oh, now it's
What
a
is it?
joke.
April Fools? Now it's a joke. Oh, now all of
Do
that was
Now
a
you
y'all
joke.
really
playing.
think that I was
All
Y'all
of
being
that
playing. Y'all supposed to
intensity,
be real.
all of that
you
talking
all
over
over
each other.
here and Q over there
Oh,
knows
now it's
there is
April
no
1st.
way in
Now it's
hell
April Fool's
I was
Day.
telling Jotham
Oh,
to go to Emory and break the fucking law. I would never tell him to
I
do
didn't hear him
that.
say that. I heard him originate the idea that he's gonna go there tomorrow
Yeah,
and
my
find out.
bad
No,
for
that
raining on
was
your
me. I
parade.
said it to him.
Now I
He
heard
said
him say, "I'm
he
gonna
said
go."
he works with no, he said he works
Works
in
at
there and
Emory.
he knows
Yep.
people at
I work
Emory.
with
And
Emory
I
in
said,
hospitals.
well, dude, you
I
need
heard
to go
that.
over there,
And
report
then
I
I heard
heard
him
him
live.
say
say,
HIPAA
I'm
don't
gonna go
apply to
find
him.
out. I'm gonna go to Emory tomorrow
He
and find
said
out.
he's gonna
That was a
make an
joke?
attempt.
So that was a joke?
I heard him say he gonna bypass
tipper.
Now
Oh
is he joking?
God. D,
Hey,
you're supposed to
Jotham,
get me in
Jotham,
trouble.
Jotham.
I
Was
don't
that
want
just a joke?
Jotham arrested. This
Ah!
is my first day back in 2.5 months.
Yeah.
Let's go easy
Don't
on me.
save him. That's a grown man. No, that's a grown man. He making his own decision.
It's a
Let that
simple
man make his own
fundamental
decision.
factual question.
He's talking all that nonsense, man. See, now you joking, right?
Okay,
Now it's a joke, Jonathan.
give me a few minutes. Give me a few minutes, and
Oh,
if
we don't have
they're
to wait till
open,
tomorrow.
if they're
You can do
open
it. You
right
can do it
now,
over the online.
right now, right?
Oh, you can do it online.
I'm
We're
going
gonna give
right
you a few
now.
minutes.
No,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
going right now. I'm going
Shit, you
right
got
now.
some power, man. I need to talk to
If
you.
that
You doing right now?
right now,
You need a few
give me
minutes.
about
Do
15
it.
Go
minutes.
live.
This dude
Go
is
live.
crazy,
I hope
man.
you on chatter. I
I
hope you ain't
will.
on
I
Clubhouse
will.
talking
I
that
will. I
bullshit.
will.
Come
All
on
right.
live on
Watch this. Watch
chatter and
this.
go live.
Watch this. Watch this out.
Y'all let anybody on the stage, huh? This
We
is
are not responsible for any arrests that take place
Right.
during the live recording of this podcast at the
Y'all at the
beginning.
hospital, but y'all let
We are
everybody in
not
here.
responsible in any way to
Hey, you gonna bring your
And
Uzi?
I
You gonna
am
bring
not
your Uzi
giving
with you?
legal advice,
And
nor
if
has
we do
anything
get
I
into some
said.
type of
You
trouble, we
good.
have
You
like
good.
10
Hey, I
reps.
came to get the billing records
No,
for the
at no
woman
time
officer.
did I give legal advice or suggest anybody should go commit a crime. And I don't know who it is. It's Joseph
Being part of
bringing the
GTN is like
meme.
being part of the Titanic. If one goes down, we all go down. So
Fuck
hush,
that,
Sean.
Diana. I'm out.
That's why I'm in Clubhouse.
Deleting the
She
app
said
again.
she out.
They
Bitch,
start one
I'm
person
out. I'm
blaming the
deleting the
other, and
app
then it gets to
again. Y'all
five
ain't gonna
people.
Shout
see
out to
me.
Wait,
Clubhouse.
you gotta wait to see if Jotham gets arrested tonight.
If my brain is gonna become like Jotham's, I'm staying in Clubhouse. Can't afford to go over there with
If you
him.
get arrested, I got
It
like
might be
$3 on
contagious.
your GoFundMe.
Not
It might
saying
be
to go home now.
contagious. All right, that
Oh,
little
Mom.
comedy hour before
Medical
we go to
records
sleep.
has an opening at Emory, so you could go apply. I'm dying
Billing
here.
department. Huh?
Oh, I wish what your Remus, you could see the chat on this side. It's fucking
I love
hysterical.
it. Y'all can send me, send me a little $5 cash app for keeping you guys entertained. This is all free. I love it.
I see you too. What it is again?
Okay, I'll hit me in the get on Clubhouse and hit me in the DM. I'll tell you what it
No, 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 no. You get over here.
is. Now you
We
come over
demand.
here.
We demand. Y'all don't demand us.
No, you come over here. Come.
We
You tell him,
graduated.
D.
We
You tell him.
graduated. You're
You
still in
tell
the
him.
middle. You're still in social audio middle school.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't be shut. Don't be throwing our Clubhouse under the bus. If it wasn't for Clubhouse, there wouldn't be no chatter. Clubhouse is the grandfather of chatter.
You
Yeah.
need to be careful what you say. If Nelson hears that,
He know.
dude,
Nelson
you
know.
are
without none of
Hey,
this,
seriously trouble.
Nelson.
without none of this, MySpace led to all this. So
Nelson got on the
what you?
map because of Clubhouse. Come on now. He know. He ain't gonna lie. Clubhouse owners know where Nelson got started. Shoot. It's well documented.
This was started in web chat rooms back in the day.
Yeah.
It just didn't evolve back. It just didn't evolve back then.
D, AOL, AIM. Remember, that's when it
Exactly.
started.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, we
exactly.
didn't know
That
who the
was
hell was chatting
that
on the other
was
side.
Right.
that was
We didn't
before
know
it
who the
had.
hell it
That,
was.
that was before MySpace. Absolutely.
Yep,
AOL.
I still have my AOL account.
My
Right.
internet, my chat came on a CD.
That's
Imagine
gotta
your
be like
chat
a
coming on a
rep,
CD in the
like a
mail.
collector's
I
item,
do
right?
remember that.
Oh my goodness. It was a CD-ROM,
I'm
but then also
talking about Clubhouse.
You still
picking
have your AOL disc?
when you
Still got
couldn't
your
you couldn't
disc?
be on the phone and the computer at the same time. Look. Mm-mm.
Still got your AOL disc where you can get started with your AOL?
Believe it or not, I do still have mine.
There you
I
go.
don't throw things
Gotta be.
away
That's gotta be
because
like
just like
worth
I don't
a
throw
couple
away my
thousand
records
dollars.
because one day my no,
Never
one
know.
day my records like the 45s and the
There you go.
LPs from back in the 60s and 70s and 80s are gonna be worth a lot of
Yeah,
money.
your basic programming book,
I
all
figure
of
these
that.
discs will be worth something one day.
There you go.
The floppies and the hard and the
It's a
CD-ROMs.
historical document.
They're gonna be worth recycling.
All right, let's
Not
see.
recycling. Damn.
You can make them. It's a good props in Hollywood. You can use that in
Yeah,
the
well, when
movies
I'm
and
dead,
stuff.
y'all can figure it out.
Oh no.
Timepiece. Well, guys, now that I got my laugh in, I appreciate you. And if you guys have the energy, I might see you guys tomorrow in Clubhouse.
Have a good night.
We
Thanks.
succeeded. We just wanted you to give up, and we succeeded.
You won. You won. I can't withstand that much BS. You guys got the
That was
BS
reverse
longevity.
psychology. Now you're saying
Right.
good night.
Exactly.
Now you're saying good night.
Hurry up.
That was reverse psychology. I
You're
told you
gonna
this in
miss it
middle
if you
school.
leave.
Peace and blessings. I'm out.
No,
Bye.
you're gonna miss it if you leave, brother. Come on, you gotta stay a little bit more.
Oh shit.
Jotham, if I had host powers right now, your ass would be out of this room so fast you wouldn't know what hit. There's a reason why I don't get them. Is he gone, Q?
I think so. It's
Well,
quiet.
Quentin. Quentin? Where the hell did Q go? He's over on Clubhouse. Who? Somebody from Clubhouse is talking about a doorbell.
No idea.
This is the crazy part about what he was saying. Anytime you go into any hospital, I know for here in Atlanta, they put a bracelet on your hand. And once they put a bracelet on your hand, every person that comes into that room then scans the bracelet. And that in turn, you're getting billed. Your social security number is tied to that bracelet. I can tell you from personal experience, my nephew came in town because he was knocked off a motorcycle from a police officer. And with that, I took him to Grady, to basically the number one trauma center in the Southeast. And his bill turned out to be $46,000 US dollars. He's from Antigua, Caribbean island. He has zero social security number. This is how I know how it works. And with that, I was the person who signed him in. Did I get a bill? No, I get zero bill. He got, and they called pretty much every week. Hey, his name is Malik. Is Malik there? Is Malik there? So I know for 100% fact of how it works because I have a few doctors that are my clients, right? So with that, let me turn. How do I turn this on?
So I know because I'm in the hospital every other day and I have been collecting my wristbands, but you are 100% right because when I go in, I have to sign shit about who's responsible and who's going to pay if the insurance doesn't. And so she must have done that with her insurance. But I'm not dead yet, so I don't know where these bills are going to go if they're ever going to go anywhere because I seem to max out my insurance deductible pretty quickly.
Which is true. So with your insurance is not something that you could pass on in terms of the billing to your parents. You can't pass that on, right? So so
Well,
so
she's
it
an employee of Emory, so she's insured by them, which is what
correct.
we were saying earlier. But
Uh,
because of this personhood law, this fetus, aka now 4.5, almost 5 month old baby, is its own person in Georgia. So it's different, is what you're saying, correct?
in Georgia, there's a few rules. I mean, those laws stand out. There's also where, along with you have another law where they can't resuscitate you, and along with even just to go into the dentist, you have to sign your life away that hey, if we put you under, we cannot resuscitate you. So who do you want us to call? Even in the dentist office, which is so crazy.
Well, I have that paperwork that goes with me. So it's at the hospital, it's at the dentist. And I actually, when I had my surgery in October, for some reason, I got into a fight with the anesthesiologist because she didn't have my paperwork. I'm like, that's not my fucking problem. It's in your system. My paperwork is very clear, my DNR and all that stuff and my contact. She's like, well, we have to intubate you for the surgery. I'm like, that's fine, but you're not allowed to do any resuscitation measures, et cetera, et cetera. They actually made me sign a separate piece of paper with before they wheeled me into surgery the morning of at like 4 in the morning. And I was like, what? No, you've got my records, but whatever. I didn't want to have a fight with her. And then I told her she couldn't touch me and she couldn't be my anesthesiologist. And that caused another whole uproar. But regardless, yeah, there's forms you sign and there's things you have to do.
So to transfer ownership of your bills that is going to a your from the billing department to that social security number to that
Yeah, that goes to the
wristband.
dog. So if I'm dead, it goes to the dog.
Yeah, and I know that a hundred
And the
percent.
dog doesn't shit gold bricks last time I checked because we've been trying to get her to do that now for the whole time we were all on Clubhouse and now here on Chatter. She still hasn't learned. So yeah, the bills go to Never Never Land in my situation. Now I don't know how it works because I don't have a next of kin that is sitting beside me in a hospital. Jotham.
I'm here. I'm trying to turn my camera on. I'm here at Emory Hospital, which is, I live in Decatur. I'm just down the road from it. Um, I know I have a
No,
doc.
no, 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 no.
No, 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 no.
Where the
You got
camera at?
this.
Listen,
Where the
Wait,
camera at?
I'm
you,
trying to turn it on. It's not turning on. I'm
okay,
I'm
trying
in
to turn
here's,
it
Decatur.
on.
I'm in Decatur too. Where the camera at?
wait,
He said with the camera at.
wait. He's
I
talking about
just
he's
I
going to
just
turn his
drove through
camera on
Decatur.
here. Wait, what the hell? All
No,
of
Every-
this,
it's
you're all
Everybody
you
in
have
jamming
Decatur.
together.
Decatur where it's
do what?
greater.
I'm at
Let's
Where's
go.
Waffle
greater,
House in
buddy?
Gainesville now.
Born and raised. Let's go.
Let's go, bro.
Let's go.
No,
I'm
no,
fifth
no, John. Where
generation.
that camera at? No, no, no. You trying to
It's not turning
trying to change
on.
the subject.
It's not turning
No,
on.
he's trying
NASA
to.
glitch.
No, so if there's an app glitch, so you have to leave and come back, and then your camera will come on.
Okay,
Like
let
you
me
have
do
to
that.
exit out
Let
of
me
the
do that.
app and come back. They'll bring you back up, right, Diana? Joseph, somebody who's awake, who has Rochelle.
Yeah, somebody. I don't know if Rochelle is still awake. I'm at
I don't
Waffle
know.
House.
Oh, whoa! Oh, that's Laura. I was like, whoa! Hi, Laura. Well, Rochelle, we can wake her ass up again by just yelling her name loud enough. But we know Joseph's awake from the
No, it's
comments.
not. It's still not
Get
going
them
up.
scattered.
Did you leave and come
Yeah.
back?
Was
Yes, I
that
did.
positive?
Somebody just brought me back up.
No,
Positive, you
leave
still
the
awake?
app completely. Like close out the app and then come back in and then come in the room.
And how do you guys stay awake? Are you guys on the PST? Because I just left
I am.
California, but I'm now in Georgia. I'm about to go to bed. I'm like, shit, it's 2:30 in the morning.
I think. Well, as we know, a lot of people are in Georgia.
It's still not working.
But
ATL baby.
yeah. I mean, we got ATL. We got.
Oh
So
my
it's
god,
still
we
not
had a
working. I
funny
don't know,
debate
I'm
Jotham.
last
back.
week.
It's still not working.
We had
Well, I
such a
don't know
funny
what to tell
debate
you.
last week about Georgia Tech campus and who could have access to it. And oh my god, that was funny.
Wait, Diana left after all of this. That bitch
Front door
decided
is
she
the
was
door is
going to bed.
unlocked. Says only the ER is open.
Are you really driving around Emory?
Don't let
Seriously,
them
like
hold you back. Don't let
you
them
think
hold
they're
you
gonna
back.
you
No,
think they're
because
gonna let you walk down
Go
that
talk to
hall?
no,
that
Don't you
grandma.
think they have
it's only the
security? Come on.
emergency room is open currently.
It's after
Uh,
hours and before hours. You ain't getting nowhere.
no, I
the
can go to the emergency room, but it's just the pack.
the ER is always open.
Yeah, the park. There's no parking back there at the ER,
But
so
what you gonna do in there?
I
Get you
came to the
an IV?
front. Yeah, I'm going to get me an IV because it's a yeah. Anyway,
The camera giving me an error message. Jotham.
when I press it, it doesn't do anything. I press it,
It,
he just goes away.
Wait, you push on the
it said
camera and you don't see the little buttons?
it should give you an
Yeah,
option to.
it comes up with screen share and camera, but when you press
Uh-huh.
the camera, it doesn't do anything. Screen share works.
Well, mine did.
He says screen share works, but
I don't know. Maybe you didn't update your phone. There's a new iOS that came out on the iPhone last night that they were telling everybody to update. But my camera, I just did my camera for y'all, even though it's pointed now. Camera, camera. There. See, there's the dog allegedly humping a pillow. Except that she's not humping a pillow. She's now hiding behind the pillow.
when it comes to certain things, when I argue about it, is because I know about it. If the mother is claiming there's a bill still coming to her house, it's in the daughter's name. It's 100% in the daughter's name, because the wristband on the daughter's hand is what they scan to send the bill. Every person that goes into that room will scan the wristband to say that they entered the room to do some or perform some kind of work to that person. That's how it works, 100%.
Like what Rachel said isn't wrong, actually. It's just not something that we've been able to, that has even come to light with regards to this specific case. But if, for example, when she was first admitted, she had some form of cosigner on her hospital bills, absolutely they can come after her because again, the hospital is, and everybody, right? Probably even the attorney general, after he figures out that he's actually has to run this through three different laws. Um, Everyone's kind of just going with the process, and if they are responsible for this bill, I think I think it's interesting because
Nobody's responsible for the bill because she's a 30-year-old woman that didn't live with them.
I know, but that caveat
That's
is if
correct.
somebody co-signed for that patient responsibility.
Who would
No,
co-sign the baby
you
Que
don't
daddy?
como
co.
que no? Yes, sí.
No, no,
Yeah,
no bueno. You don't co-sign for a bill when it's. I remember it's her and her boyfriend went into the hospital.
I
So
think
if it's the
Diana's talking like with like a minor. Maybe you co-sign, like
correct,
No, there's no, aren't there? I mean, I know that
Diana. I hate to break
you're
the
the one
news
that
to
called
you.
me back. I was going ready into REM sleep and you said he's about to go to jail. You need quality control. So I came back.
I didn't say quality control. I said get your ass back in here.
I
Nobody
am
said you
sorry.
could leave. So don't you be twisting my text messages because I'll put them up on the screen.
Jotham,
Now,
you getting
exactly.
arrested tonight or what?
What?
I told her to get her ass back in here because she said goodnight in
Oh
the
man,
chat.
I was already going to bed.
Oh my goodness! Come on
Don't
now.
mind Diana and Shauna. This is our regularly scheduled
To-
broadcast at this hour.
totally understand.
But no, Diana, like if so you have insurance, right? And under your insurance, my favorite person is under your insurance, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Now, even though she's not a minor, she's still under your insurance. Now, when she goes in with or without you to the hospital, you ain't signing anything taking responsibility because if you are, I need to come down there and slap you with a 2x4.
that's correct.
That's a fact.
I'm not signing anything for her, but
That,
but
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 but that's it. That
but
but
when I
she's an adult. She's
listen,
over
y'all,
18.
when I had my abuelita, when I had my grandmama, they
Yeah, but that's different.
absolutely had me
That's
sign stuff
different.
for her. How was that
Yeah,
That's
because
different?
you had a
different.
power of attorney for your abuelita. Remember?
Correct.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. Like it matters the details, right? What if the mom signed for her? Because it's the mom saying that they're coming after her. What if the
The
mom signed
the
for her?
mom wasn't there when this happened.
That doesn't mean that
That's
she
a
didn't
hundred
sign
percent correct
later.
too. No, you can.
You
How
just agreeing.
you can't sign later if she's dead the next morning.
No, but you could sign later after she arrived at the hospital. They don't,
They didn't
not.
get there until after she was dead.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
see?
think people are understanding that part.
Man,
That's
you
why
just
I'm so
listening to that
passionate
at the
about it.
beginning too. That
Diana.
makes sense, Shauna. That makes sense. Then it
So
wouldn't
they
have been the
called.
mom.
So they called. I'm not sure who said it. I think it
I
was John.
did.
No,
I
Jonathan. I
did.
think no, I think it was Jonathan who JB who said earlier that they called the grandmother to say we're taking her into surgery, and then they called the grandmother to say she didn't make it. And then when the grandmother came, that's when this and the baby, that's when all this came to light about them not taking her off life support and not and taking away all the rights. So there was no co-signing, there was no nothing. So this is an interesting scenario.
So the bills will still show up to the mother's home, or the if she lives with her mom, or her home
Well,
if she
she's
lives in a.
dead. So she's dead. So the bills ain't go. They can. You can't get bills from a dead person. I mean, you can't get payment from a dead person.
Correct, but it will
Right.
still
But
show up because
well,
she's
yeah,
still
they
in
can
the
show up wherever
hospital.
the hell they want. But I think what the mother was talking, the grandmother was saying. I'm getting tired, so I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure in the video she was in the interview that she gave, she was saying that it's the baby's hospital bills that she's being held responsible for.
I don't think at that point you'll get
Personhood
babies.
laws in your crazy ass state.
No, it's not crazy. It's a beautiful state. It's a beautiful state.
I'm sorry, but I had to look up what personhood versus the fetal heartbeat laws were. And understand what personhood meant. This thing, once it was 6 weeks old, was its own in Georgia is considered a person. It has
Correct.
its oh yeah, that's fucking crazy. I don't
Well,
care how beautiful Georgia is. That's
I'm not
crazy.
in government. Yes, it is, but I'm not in government. You got some crazy people in Georgia, even worse in Florida.
It won't be crazy on Saturday. Join us for DTN. Finally, a voice for the saint. Back to you, Diana.
Diana left, Barth. She
No,
went back.
Diana,
Oh,
no, Diana left and then Shauna called her back because Jotham was going to get arrested. I actually didn't hear what you just said, Barth. I was looking up something with regards to this case. What'd you say?
see you
Look
on
at me again
Saturday.
now.
Oh my God. Yeah.
These
I think of
God hating liberals were just calling this basically this baby at 9 weeks just pile of mush and how dare
21
they
weeks.
try and
I'll be that baby's daddy.
Oh my God, Chris.
I'll be the
well,
pappy.
it's what Jesus would want.
Yeah. The problem is that Jesus is technically, even
That
though,
who's playing God if they until the baby I mean what well, my perspective is it's a nunya topic for me. It's not my business.
you guys want to sneak peek at what we're planning on Saturday, just in case JB lets the lunatics run the show Saturday night. You know how some of you guys were here. Joseph was definitely here because he's laughing his ass off. So we got into a debate, and what surfaced was that MAGA was all types of things, right? So we're gonna hit him.
Satan.
We're
It's
gonna
Satan.
we're gonna hit it's Satan. Yeah, they said that. Can you believe that shit, Bart? They said that MAGA are satanic people, and so we're gonna do "Make America Great
Now
Again." But
I don't know if that's what they said. I know that the
no, that's totally what
MAG.
they said.
No, well, if Bart uses his birth machine, I can't remember what it's called because it's been a couple months, but it's not the Google machine anymore. Well, the Gonk. What Barth? What was the machine you would look things up on? If you type it in, what does MAGA mean? The definition leads you to satanic rituals.
Oh God, you better show up on Saturday with that
I am.
bullshit.
I'm.
We're
Listen.
gonna say,
I was. If Jonathan hadn't dropped the bomb about this case, I was done, deleted, and then I came back because this case totally caught my like. Oh my god, I'm so curious. No, I'm going back to deleting the app and not. No, no.
well, good, but you got to come
No, you
back.
can't delete the app. You started it. You can't delete the app at this
What are
point.
you talking about? I've been gone for 2.5 months.
It's okay. You gotta season right back in.
No, I don't. I can
Oh
have
yeah, you
my
do.
happy little ass sitting over in Clubhouse in the rooms that I like to go to that have nothing to do with the crazy that's DTN.
It's all good.
DTN gave me high blood pressure and a bunch of other shit.
Well,
Jonathan
Shauna,
and I came to blows on a stage. It was horrible.
now you have to stay because Adrian and I
Joseph, hush.
we have our own DTN spin-off True Crime twice a week. So now you have to come over and hang out for that.
Okay, you haven't texted me or
Hey,
asked me
Jeremy
anything
said
in
hi.
2.5 months.
To be
So
fair,
I don't have to do anything, Joseph.
you don't have to do anything, but I would love to have you there. And I was actually going to text you this week because I'm like, where is Shauna?
Shauna left after that big explosion.
Jeremy
Jonathan said
said
some
Good
hi.
shit,
night. Good
and
night.
I was like, I'm out.
Is it possible I could park right here for 2 minutes? I want to. ask a quick question inside.
Oh my God, he's really doing this.
What you think I was kidding? This is
Well,
this.
Go on, Cam. Where the camera at? You could be at the gas station.
he says his camera don't
The
work.
camera doesn't work, but the share screen works. I don't know why.
V2, V2.
I
Diana,
hear
now do
you.
you see why I told you to get your ass out of bed and come back in this room? Because he's actually going to be on the speaker phone when he asks these. Oh my God. All right, D,
What
if he
did you
gets
send this poor
This
arrested,
man to
we
this
go
is
need
no.
you to
ask?
This
go
is
get him.
this is this is the Grady hospital system. So this I'm at Grady now. Basically asking the same question. Um, can I transfer a bill to my grandmother, even though I have a ban in my hand?
What do you mean
Is that a fair
transfer? That's
question?
not the same situation.
Okay, I'm doing good. What would be a fair question then?
Well,
Can I
you
can?
guys are saying that family members cannot co-sign bills, so I would ask that, right? You
Okay,
guys, that's
let's
what I'm
do that.
supposed
Let's
to.
do that. Let's do
No,
that.
I would say what happens when the person's dead? Who gets the bill?
When
If
I
you ask
go to
about
the
her bill though,
hospital,
you got to put something on it. Yep.
just my phone. Yeah.
Yeah, that's another one too. When a person passes away, who receives their bill?
Then go talk to the grandma.
Responsibility.
Thank you.
Sound like
We
the gas
good?
station.
D, I knew
Yeah.
you were going to
I'll
say
take
that.
it.
Let
I
that
got
man
my
report
ear
in
like,
peace.
okay, we all got to be quiet because we can hear him.
Say check in line. Where does the line start? It says patient check in line starts. I just waiting to be checked in. That's all.
So in the meantime, Joseph, no, I'm not coming back. I'll delete it again. And if you want to find me, I'll be in the clubhouse streets in my legal rooms over there occasionally. Sorry, no true crimes for you Tuesdays and Thursdays on Chatter.
We don't want to hear no clubhouse.
No, there's a private room of attorneys and judges that we talk about stuff. That's the only room I've been doing.
And the band that goes onto my hand, let's say I come for a broken hand or something hard problem, and I pass away. Who's responsible for the bill? I don't know the answer to that question. Okay, so that'll be the billing department. I'll have to ask. You mean who's responsible as far as who has to pay it? Correct. I'm not sure. You're not sure? Okay. The billing department will be tomorrow morning, correct?
What would give
You
somebody
can check and see if registration might be able to answer. Registration? Okay, yeah, great.
what
All
would
right.
give somebody else
Appreciate
responsibility to have to pay my bill?
I'll get that too. Where's registration? She sent me the registration.
D,
How you
it's
Well,
will?
complicated. He's
The
asking the right
registration?
questions.
Okay. So I have a situation that is, who would take care of a bill? Let's say I check into the hospital and I pass away. Who's responsible for that bill? Would it still be me or say again? If I pass away, I won't be liable? Okay, okay. So what if my wife checks in, she's pregnant, and then she passed away? Would I be responsible as the boyfriend? Your boyfriend, not her husband. Yeah, just boyfriend. Would I be responsible? How would how would I take the responsibility? How would that person be responsible for that bill? If she passes away, it's her medical insurance that would be billed. Okay. My medical insurance would be her financial obligation. Okay. Sounds good. Appreciate you. Your name is? You have a great rest of your night. Thank you.
Her medical insurance would have a financial obligation.
Oh, I heard it loud and clear. The only
Man,
problem
that lady's
is
probably thinking you're gonna kill your wife or something, or your girlfriend.
that's what I was,
No,
Diana. That's what I was thinking. But the problem
Man, they
is
gonna send you
Jotham, you
with
came
a
so
freaking
close
follow
to like
car.
Jotham. You came close to saying, "Well, if my wife is pregnant and she dies, who's responsible for the baby?"
She said wife. She
That
said
would have
wife, not
been
girlfriend.
that would have been all bad.
Yeah, that would
so
have been
so
all bad. We all would have been out of this. We all would have left you standing. You, you
Yeah,
would have
yeah,
been on your own with
I'm
no
pretty sure the whole
witnesses.
staff at that hospital had a whole freaking staff meeting on that case. So they looking at you knowing damn well what the hell you asking about. This
no,
is a little crazy.
this is a different. This is a Grady system, so it's not Emory. Yeah, I came across the Grady. Um, yeah, so the idea that his grandmother is saying, "Oh, she's responsible for," no, that's not how it works.
But she may be responsible for the baby.
The baby doesn't. Okay,
Yes,
that
What
is
I know
that's why I
that
told you.
we're
That's why
going
I
in
told you to
circles.
ask because
I know we're
it
okay.
was
What?
more of what would put somebody else in charge of the bill. If it was something they signed or something related, then that would immediately take responsibility of the bill versus trying to figure out who's getting it by default. Yeah,
So
go back in.
this is
no.
where
Don't go back in.
no,
Don't get
this is where
arrested.
no, I'm not going to get arrested. So this is
Stand your
where
ground.
10 toes
Dee,
down.
I'm going to come after you.
But this is where you have to understand how it works. If the baby is not out of that belly, there is no way, because the baby doesn't have a social security number. If you notice, when the baby is born, the first thing they do, they put a tag on the baby's hand. Again, every person will then scan that tag for anything that is performed on that baby. That's how it works. Outside of that, when the person goes into that room, they scan the tag on the body of the mother or the incubator, no, the dead person, and that's how it's billed. It's billed
Well,
based on scanning their tag.
I don't want to call grandma a liar.
No, we're not calling her a liar. I'm just telling what's her name is whatever you're saying doesn't add up.
No, but grandma went, no, what Rochelle was saying when you two
That's
were,
what I'm saying. Whatever Rochelle is saying
but,
doesn't add
but,
up.
but Rochelle was going off of what the grandmother said on the interview that
And,
we all listened to
and
earlier.
here in Atlanta, trust me. Let me. See, this is how crazy Atlanta is.
The question
The,
though is do we believe, so, but we're, the, the grandmother is saying that she's responsible for the bill. Okay, this is what she said on the news. I think it's written in the GoFundMe, but y'all can look it up because I'm not looking up a GoFundMe again.
is she saying she's responsible for the bill, or she's saying that the bills are still coming to her house?
The bills were never coming to her house because her daughter didn't live with her. She's responsible for the bills, is what she said in the interview, and that's she doesn't know how they're going to pay for it because they didn't have a say in any of this because
So
of this whole personhood thing. So, like, even though you're saying, I mean, I get what you're saying logistically, and my legal brain is totally understanding what you're saying, but for whatever reason, your back ass state and this case in particular has decided that they're keeping this person because it ain't a fetus and it ain't a baby. It's a person in Georgia alive in the incubator of the deceased mother, the brain dead mother.
the reason, and this is just my belief, the reason why they're doing this is because last year they lost a lawsuit, a $40 million lawsuit for malpractice. It was a heart transplant that went bad. The kid wanted it was a young kid, want some kind of a simple stuff they should have done that was not done, and the kid died, and $40 million malpractice. So I'm looking at this as they reflect, because this is just last year, so it's fresh on their minds that, hey, let's follow the law to the T. So we could not fall into this lawsuit again. Based on what Grandma is saying, that she doesn't know if she wants to keep it or not, let's not do anything. Let's just follow the law. That's how I'm looking at it. I could be wrong, but that's just how I'm looking at it.
All right, so you're safe now. Shauna, can I go to sleep?
Oh, I thought you'd already left the fucking room. That's why I was texting you.
Oh, no, not yet.
Go to
Now
bed.
I'm, woohoo, I'm gonna make it as long as I can go to sleep by midnight. Good night. See you tomorrow
See
with
you
some real news,
tomorrow.
not y'all fake ass news. Thank you, Jotham.
You're
That was
welcome.
awesome, Jotham. Thank you, thank you. Very cool. See you
See,
guys
aren't you glad I
tomorrow.
texted your ass before you went to
I
bed?
am, I am.
Okay,
See you
okay, y'all heard it.
tomorrow. Don't delete the app. Bye.
I'm deleting.
So
Dude,
when
what chatter didn't do
when
nothing to you?
when Rochelle comes in again, you can let her know Joe went to the hospital.
Yeah, she's still gonna say your ass was wrong though.
Oh, no, no, no. I'm texting Michelle. I've got a text already. I already texted her, but it's on delay. Like you know how the phones you can now set it when the text sends. Because it's 3 a.m. for her. I don't want to wake her up since we already woke her up once. So I wanted to
She's
get
listening. She just knows she was wrong.
no, she ain't listening. She's asleep. You stop causing problems, lady.
I love Rachel.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I could tell listening to the two of you. It was like good
She
old
don't like
days.
me, but I like her.
All
What
I
else
can
is new
say
in
is I've already
DTN?
sent the text message. I've already sent the text message to go out in 5 hours when I'm asleep and she wakes up.
Good night. Mwah.
Have a good one.
Joseph, don't you have to work in a couple hours? Like this is not the holidays. We're not pulling late night DTN shifts together anymore.
I know, but one of the beauties of working from home is that I can sleep in once in a while what I want. So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow.
So me coming back and this whole thing of Jotham going kept you awake.
I mean, I'm usually up until like 2 o'clock anyway, but yes, having you back on the app and this whole on the ground reporting may have kept me up later.
Good to know that I could keep you going.